I'm going to kill myself. I am going to jump off a fucking bridge. Oh my god. So I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. I'm so irritated. I need my mind to stop moving. Sorry, I need to work on a art for a video I'm making, or at least two pieces. I don't care what they are, but I need to at least work on two pieces right now. So I'm trying to set up my fucking tablet so I can get everything together. Sorry, have I hit the mic? So give me a second before I go on this whole tirade I'm about to go on. This is why I don't like this community. This stream is early because I watched a video that I shouldn't have watched, and I just, the hate in my heart. It's not hate, but the irritation in my heart with this whole before I get into it, let me just like set up my shit so like I can just talk freely and try to draw, because you guys know how that goes. Me talking and drawing, you're gonna see a blank screen most of the time. So there we go. Okay. Oh, I'm all ready. I stink. I need to take a shower. Let me turn off this music so I'm not distracted, because my mind is going like 100 miles a minute. I'm gonna put my headphones down. All right. So I think, oh, I forgot to post it to my Discord. Let me post it to Discord really quickly so people know, because some people just don't get notifications for this, or just some people are like, meh. Let me see. Sorry that it's so early and some people are just like, but where's my link and stuff. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll move it. Let's see. I guess this works. I should have moved it out way earlier, but I mean, if you're not a part of my Discord, then it's what it is. Let's see. I'm just gonna put on streaming. It's Brittany, bitch. I'm streaming right now. Right now, out of anger. So yeah. So yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's posted. Great. All right. I think I'm ready. I'll come reference picture while I'm doing this. Obviously, this started with the Hopeless Peaches stuff. Now, I was gonna make a video about it because it's fucking stupid at its core, but I wanted to like at least be a bit more informed than not at all. So I went to go watch the person who made not made the claims, the person who, you know, has all this information on it, right? Which is the person who initially got this whole thing started, which, let's be honest, it's Creepshow. Whether you saw Prison Luke video first or hers, it was Creepshow. It's just what it is. Hi, Goblin. Hello, everybody. And so I went to go watch her video, and I left that video angry. You know why? I think you guys can kind of tell. If you can't tell already, the lack of proof in that video was astounding. Basically, a lot of her claims was, take my word for it. That happened. That conversation happened. Take my word for it. And oh my god. When it comes to things that aren't as important, in my personal opinion, where it's like, a creator was mean to me, boo-hoo. When that's the situation, you need to show a lot of proof for me to give a rat's fucking ass. A rat's fucking ass. You need to show me proof that they are just the worst. She barely showed proof. in fact, just showed, well, look, she said this, and I think this tweet was about me because this reason I can't show you. I can't believe that. What do you mean? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I completely don't believe her and I think she's full of shit. I'm sure to some extent that happened, but the reason you have to show me personally proof is because when it comes to your feelings and when it comes to you making a whole video basically saying she was mean to me, boo-hoo, when that's the entire situation, your feelings can get involved. And I'll be the first one to say, especially with someone with anxiety, especially with honestly Creepshow's past period, because people are acting like she doesn't have a past and she's not a problematic person, or she wasn't at one point. With her past of her well, that's all she does actually. Most of her videos at least being over exaggerated or trying to play it up for entertainment value when you're actually under a stressful, anxiety ridden state of somebody being like rude to you or someone that you trusted betraying your trust, which is personally, like as a personal person, that's shitty, but again, someone looking from the outside in, I don't give a fuck. Your feelings can get involved to the point where you start mixing up and assuming how someone feels or assuming how or basically just being like, this came off this way. Is that what it was? Maybe or maybe not. But it came off that way. Which, that's not solid. That's just, well, that's my feelings. And I don't have time for your feelings. I don't care about your feelings. Take that up with that person. Take that up with other people in the community. If you could prove it, then if somebody comes to you and says, hey, this person's been talking shit, here's the proof that that didn't happen. But you can't even show them that. Apparently, because if you showed other people that proof, you could definitely show us that proof. But you didn't, because you can't. Because it's just at this point a matter of an opinion. And especially when it comes to Creepshow, her size and following makes that all way worse. Because it could literally be, people could be believing anything she says because her following's bigger. That's why influence is such a weird and powerful thing, and people don't take it seriously as it needs to be. Because example, people are claiming stuff that Peaches said or lied about that Creepshow never proved. And maybe in Prison Luke's videos it was proven, but it makes no sense that he would prove it and she wouldn't. So either she did a bad job in her video, or well, actually in some cases, and actually in most cases, a lot of the proof she admitted, like, these were deleted. I don't have the screenshots. I don't have this information, but just take my word for it. Y'all know how I feel about taking people's word for it. Especially when, again, it's not this serious of a situation. I can't take your word for it. I'm sorry. That's what my whole problem with Kai and Omnia was. They're basically just like, well, this was an assumption I made, and take my word for it. I can't take your word for it, ho. You have to show me with proof that that happened or that was the intention. If you can't show me that, then you're just assuming a bunch of stuff. And people believe you, and people go to that person and say, this is what you're doing, and that can even warp that person's feelings. Because then that person can be like, oh yeah, well, I guess I did that because everybody's saying I did. And at that point, it's just like, that's gaslighting, first of all. Well, I would say that's not necessarily gaslight. Well, no. Yeah, it's gaslighting. At the point, that's gaslighting. That's saying, you did this. It's like, but I didn't. That wasn't my intent. Well, you did it because I said you did. And 40 other people are going to corroborate my story even though they have no proof. And it's like, well, I guess I did do it. And at that point, it makes me suspicious of her Creepshow story. It makes me suspicious of Peach's story because I'm like, okay, is she influenced by this or not? Which she obviously has been because people have been attacking her. Hell, I went and watched right before this, or I tried to watch, Omnia's video on it. Omnia did something similar, where she assumed a bunch of stuff because of example. The first thing I saw, which was where I was like, nope, I can't, the story is dumb. I'm not even gonna follow it. I don't care. People are leeches and vermin in this community. She made the assumption because Peaches obviously changed her mind about how she felt in the Toby situation that it was some malicious intact. If she believes 1 second that, okay, you leaking the DMs is perfectly fine, and then she sees that there maybe are problems with it, and someone, whether it was a comment that someone made on your post, whether it was a video that she watched, convinced her or showed her, hey, there may be a problem with this. Hell, again, Prison Luke, even in his first video covering this, said that shit was sketchy. She could have watched his video, heard that it was sketchy, and been like, you know what? I don't feel that way anymore. Could she show there was malicious intent behind her not feeling that way anymore? No. But I'm just supposed to believe it. So you just made a whole ass assumption of someone changing their mind. And now that's a crime she has. Because changing her mind is not something that people can do anymore. What? And then you want me to believe the rest of your video. That's a crock of shit off the bat. That's a crock of shit off the bat. And how am I supposed to watch the rest of your video not in pure fury, right? And even what's her name? What's her name? I can't remember her name. Damn it. I can't remember her name, so I'm not going to bring her because I can't remember her name. Damn it, I'm like having a fucking mental breakdown. I'm sorry. Let me give myself a second to like breathe because my heart's getting really like, I hate that shit because that's like, maybe because I am very sensitive when it comes to people gaslighting people trying to change somebody's opinion when they feel one way, or they change their opinion willingly, and somebody tried to change their opinion forcefully by saying, well, you did this because everybody's gonna tell you that they did it because everybody trusts me for no apparent reason, with no proof, with no evidence, with nothing but assumptions that I made because of my feelings, because I feel attacked, because Creepshow literally was in support of Kai Namnia. She literally has a bias right fucking there. So of course she's gonna, like, it's crazy. And obviously, because Peaches changed her mind, she made it very obvious how her bias is in that video. Like, it's crazy. But I'm supposed to believe her. I'm supposed to believe these people on their biased, non-proven bullshit. But how does that work? I'm losing my mind. I'm gonna have a stroke. I can't. And again, I'm saying all this with the full knowledge from the stuff I watched on this situation, or the understanding, the breakdowns. This doesn't even matter. Because again, this whole situation boils down to, oh, she being mean to me. Like, I can't believe it. Bitches and dicks in the commentary community. It is crazy. People who don't like me or don't agree with me or feel some type of way about me or even did the exact same thing I'm doing right now. Oh, boo fucking who. And I'm an elephant, guys. I should just change my avatar to an elephant because I never fucking forget. If I watched your content and liked it, like with Kai and Omnia, I'm not even going to bring that shit up, but like with Kai and Omnia, when you start contradicting yourself, when you start saying this person's bad for this, my mind will start replaying every single time you did the exact same thing. Every single time you were in the exact same situation, said the exact same shit, did the exact it will start replaying in my mind, and I'm like, oh, so you're a hypocrite for real. And you're blowing situation up because you don't like it. Ah, I see. Okay, moving on. This is why I don't watch a lot of people in this community anymore. Because that shit will play. Again, that shit will play. Even when I watch people like Ponder, that shit will play. And I'm just like, mainly the only reason I like Ponder is because she kind of just moves on with situations. Like, she'll talk about it and move on. These dumbass people will just hold a grudge and act like you're supposed to believe them because of thin air. Like, I can't. But then they'll still act like they're credible. Oh my, it's just, I can't. I'm gonna keep talking about this, but let me take a break and like read what you're saying, because I see that you have it. I see you guys have words. I get it. Let me read it. Let's see. In whose video, we're talking about the Creepshow art Peaches situation. To run it down. Okay. I watched Creepshow's video first. She showed little to no proof. And then earlier, before, literally just before I started the stream, I was watching or not Kai's, but I always, confuse them because apparently they're two people, but they're not. It's just a whole thing. um, it's not me throwing shade. I'm me seriously thinking of the two people, but they're two people one time, but they're not two people when it's convenient. Um, I was watching Omnia's video, and it was oh my god. But that's what we're talking about right now. But I'm talking about the art commentary community in general. I'm gonna keep talking about it, but like it's just this situation sparked the anger to come back up because I've been trying to like suppress it and ignore ignore people's content altogether. Are you late? No, I mean this is an impromptu stream. I just was ranty, and I'm sorry, I'm not drawing nothing. I should just, I could draw chibis. Let me find a character to draw a chibi of. Even people saying that they lie or Peaches lied in some of their videos, and I'm just like, okay, well, where's your proof? Well, these people said it, and these people had bullshit proof on top of that, and I'm like, okay, so where's your proof? I'm still asking because you never showed me any. Well, cause she made this tweet. No, I don't need assumptions because you say this so confidently, like with your whole chest, like with your whole like how Creeper said with her whole chest she didn't have proof. She's saying with her whole chest that I'm supposed to believe her. That means you must have some proof because that means you must be so confident in how you feel because like no, not because you may feel that, maybe not because you make that assumption because of other things that have happened. No, you must know without a doubt that this happened. Don't get me wrong, she had proof in that video to some extent with some things, but some of the stuff I'm just like, you're straight up, you're just assuming. And even with the whole like who Peaches was talking, even in her community tab, apparently she made a mistake, which I didn't even understand because again, there was no proof to begin with. But apparently she found some DMs that showed something different, but also she still acted like it implied something. And I'm like, I need proof. I don't care that you and Peaches have beef. I don't care that Peaches is a shady person. You could say that she's a shady person, say that I felt this way about this situation because of this, and then people ask questions more or less different. If this was a interview question, that's fine. But for this to come up because Prison Luke is sucking your ass, and that he felt slighted because you felt slighted, and the information that he showed on the screen, which he does this often, which is why I don't fucking like him. The information he showed on the screen was a big ass assumption at best, and going off of from what you said, it's like I need more. I'm sorry. I just need more. I'm sorry. I was gonna read the comments and I immediately stopped reading the comments. I'm sorry. No, it just started. The whole situation is confusing. The whole situation is mad confusing. Oh, the whole situation is just it's a fucking nothing salad of bullshit, in my personal opinion. But yeah, no, it's not gonna lie, Clear Peaches is a snake herd drama with Camellia is the only valid case in the whole situation. Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I meant. But like, that's the only valid case, and even then, she tried to spin that of like it was this, and I'm like, no, I just seemed like because she had this not. Oh my god, there's so many things wrong with that video. I swear. But that situation period with her and Peaches seemed like, okay, yeah, she was kind of either an asshole or there was miscommunication. Even then, the DMs weren't shown entirely, so it was like kind of like a guessing game for me personally because I barely believed them there. So I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if you just went to go look for the information that proved your point and then gave that to me. But it seemed like she is an asshole. Don't get me wrong. Let me not confuse y'all. I think in the end, Peaches is an asshole. She seems like a dick, like a fucking jerk. But is that a crime? No. Are the people talking about her not assholes? No. Are they not jerks? No. Do they not twist stories and show no proof? No. They are equally as bad. That's why I'm like, this whole video was to give her claims that half of y'all have done. So, because again, we all forget that with the Toby situation, a lot of the commentators found her or encouraged her to make the video on Creepshow Art because Creepshow Art had so many problems. And she didn't even list them all, by the way. Didn't even list them all. She had so many problems with contradicting herself, being a hypocrite, being too aggressive, being too petty, being just doing shit to people that that person could totally see and will have ample proof of being a dick. And she still sometimes does that. So if we're gonna be like that and we're gonna act like being an asshole is a crime against humanity, some of these people have no room to talk about being an asshole. And then they changed their ways. Because Creepshow didn't really change her ways. She literally stopped doing it for a minute, started doing it again, and at this point she's a bit more careful. Because if she fucks up too bad this time, people are going to start calling her out again. But, you know, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to bring that up. We're going to act like these people are squeaky clean and they have nothing against them. They're perfectly fine. Kind on me and everything. Basically, we're back to that. These people never did anything wrong. The whole situation is just... I don't... I can't. I just can't. Alron? Alron is straight up leech? Who? I'm sorry. Who? Alron? Who? I don't know who that is. Alron. Is that a commentator? I feel like I don't know who that is. I low-key probably should know who that is. Omnia's apology, therefore she can't be criticized or anything. You know, yeah, pretty much. I can stab you in the back like 4 times, and if I apologize, then it's fine. It's like, okay, literally, she apologized like more than twice. And I'm like, okay, so we're just gonna let that go because she apologized? When you apologize and you keep fucking up, at one point it becomes a pattern. At one point it becomes you just not listening and not actually taking the situation in and being impulsive and what? Like, the whole situation was bullshit. I already talked about that. I'm not gonna go back into it. I'm sorry. Trans rights, yes. 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 The art community is not made for drama. It really isn't. Because our version of drama is, again, somebody was mean to me, boo-hoo. Somebody traced, like, it's the end of the world. Like, not saying the tracing isn't, the tracing is good. It's not. But that's our versions of drama. Or talking about other people's drama, and it's, yeah, this whole situation is so useless. It's so fucking stupid. It's so filled with, it's just gross. I hate it. It's because the art commentary community is super... Excuse me, give me a second. I am throwing up. I need to drink water. I'm sorry. I read your comment while I was drinking. I get... Oh wait, there's a second part to it. I think the issue isn't so much that they're actually butthurt that Peaches was a meanie, but that they're trying to make it a point that Peaches shouldn't be trusted. Not really, no. and here's the thing. Here's why I say that. Just because you're a bad person doesn't mean your points are invalid. I'm be 100 with you. Again, Creepshow Art, great example. Just because she's a bad person doesn't mean a lot of her videos were invalid. That she didn't make good points. That I didn't watch her because she made good points and she talked about things and pointed out things that you didn't see in certain situations. She can be trusted. What are you talking about? Like, that's my that example. That's my shit of they're acting like she can't be trusted. Where's the proof behind that? Her videos didn't tell any lies. Not all of them, by the way. I know the one video did, or not the one. I think it was it 2? This whole situation is confusing, but you know what I mean. Those videos, sure. When she's talking about certain people, yeah, fact check her. But when she's talking about, I think she's talking about Annie Tunes. Might be confusing her with somebody else, but she's talking about Annie Tunes. Did she lie about him? when she was talking about fucking, what's that one video? I gotta look at her content again. I don't watch public speeches like that. When she was talking about the other things, was she lying then? No. I can understand fact check her when she tells like personal stories, or even in some videos, fact check her. But other than, again, she's being mean to me. Where what? Again, we talk about what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? Creepshow Art can't be trusted. From the videos I watched of her, she really can't be trusted. She doesn't take criticism well. She barely can accept when she's wrong about certain things, or accept when she maybe made a mistake about certain things. Same thing with most people in this community. Then I can't trust any of them. And at that point, why am I trusting what they say? And why am I trusting? Do you get where I'm? This is my mind. You have to understand. So again, you say that, but then I can't trust any of you. So why am I listening to what any of you say? I think period. Like on period. You need to not trust anybody. I tell you guys this type of stuff. This is why my disclaimer, as bullshit as it is, at the beginning of the like big videos I do, says what it does. Corrections are welcome. Doesn't mean I'll be, in the nicest mood about it, but corrections are welcome. Don't believe shit I say. Don't ever believe shit I say blindly. Even if I'm telling a story time, assume that I may be lying. I'm not. But let's assume I'm lying. Assume you don't have the whole entire story. I don't care if I'm telling you about an abuse I have. Do not believe me at my word. Just don't. You can use that as a thing of, well, she said this, so she says it happened, but you don't fully believe me. If I don't show proof, or I don't at least give some real indicator that I'm believable, in the sense of a screenshot or an example or something, which some of these people don't even give that, and some of these people didn't even give that, don't just believe me. Because again, it could be my example is like, excuse me. I could say this person touched my butt and I didn't like it, and I've had beef with them ever since, right? What could have happened in reality, because I didn't talk to them, because I didn't communicate with them, is their backpack could have touched my butt. Somebody else could touch my butt and they were just happened to be close and I just blamed them. You should never fully believe me. Be like, this person said this, but we don't know because she never showed proof. That should be your whole thing. This person said this, but we don't know because she never showed proof. So if we're going by what she said, it's that. That's why I'm going by. Even I'm right now. I'm just going by what Creepshow said. She even says she don't got the proof for it anymore. She's already made a mistake in exactly what happened and has corrected herself on it. Which means that even now, just for that right there alone, it shows me that this could be not fabricated, but there could be situations that are warped by her feelings, or by how she remembers it, or by how probably stressed out she's been. She was almost doxxed not too long ago. This bitch has been harassing her. There are genuine reasons why she could be really stressed out right now. Wasn't she going in for like oral surgery or something like that? There could be many of reasons why this video should not have been made at this time. If she was going to talk about this, she should have talked about it in a very clear headspace, and she's not. And if she lies and says she is, she's not. Like, the literal evidence shows that she literally, in, what was it, this month or last month, at least in 2 month time period, this girl has been harassing her the entire time. Telling her that she was lying, we don't know it yet. I don't think it was proven. I have to look back at that situation with her and without brain cell, without crystal ball. I think she doxed her. I believe I want to say no one had like solid proof on it. I know somebody sent Creep Show, I think, like quote unquote proof that happened, but that could have been like, we don't know basically. But she doxed her. She's been harassing her and sending her emails and all this other bullshit. So she's had to deal with that. She had to delete her Twitter because people are literally using her let's go with quote unquote past traumas, whether it's her being homeless, other shit, and you throwing that shit back in her face. And she's been very vocal on Instagram stories that shit's been bothering her. There's been a lot of stuff that's been stressing her out, that's been irritating her. She's going in for oral surgery. Well, she thinks she already went in for some oral surgery. I'm sure there's many other things in her personal life that are happening. Like, there's a reason why this might be a warped version of the situation because of her anger. Doesn't mean that it's not totally true, or you know what I mean, like she's making it all up, just saying that it could be not as bad as she thinks. It could have been like okay, maybe I should ask her why she did this and maybe it will then be explained to me. These people have, trust me, all these people have very, they're very bad at communicating. They communicate when they feel like it. They communicate when they know they can be right. But as soon as they don't, literally, as soon as the situation will probably not be in their favor, or it might be explained, or there might be a reason why they shouldn't be mad right now, all of a sudden that great communication skills just like disappears into air, and I don't understand. Let me write something on screen so you guys feel a little bit better about looking at nothing. There. You have my anger, fucking, what is it called? On a fucking screen. Excuse me, sorry. I already read that one. But they bring in their personal feelings into the mix. Yeah, sorry, I didn't read that last little bit there. Lesson that should be learned: never mix your biased feelings when you're trying to make a serious allegation. Yes. Literally. In some cases, I can understand. You know what I mean? Like, if it's almost but everything proven, or if there's so much evidence that's hard to fucking ignore that this might have happened, that's different. But again, with this situation, she's mean to me. That shit is so... You literally admit barely having proof at that. A lot of it was, here's this from an assumption, look, I can show messages that we were fine and that we were friendly, but I can barely show messages that she actually did this maliciously, or that this was on purpose, or that this wasn't like a mistake or a mishap, or even her saying that this person came to her. And again, if the person had screenshots of them saying that, or the person had screenshots of really proving that this happened, she could have shown those screenshots. But she's like, well, but this person told me and she said this about it. That person already, again, you're asking a person to remember a conversation. There's just no way that person could just be telling you something that maybe is half true, not on purpose. Because you're asking someone to relay a conversation that they had, a call that they may have had. You're asking that person to remember information that is not that important. Even if it just happened, still. This is why you have to have proof of something. This is why you have to ask follow-up questions. That's why you have to have proof of that. You can't just say that, and because I don't like her, or because you've made a point, or because you're an influence in this community, because you have a lot of subscribers, I'm supposed to believe you and them without you showing me anything. I don't understand. I don't get it. Kill me, please. Sorry if I word that weirdly. No, you're fine. I get it. Like, it's irritating. I'll see the chat. He made a video about this experience with Peaches, but he is assumingly a social climber and obsessed with subscribers. Big Joel made a video about him, and it goes on and on. Uh, a wise philosopher once said, "Question everything." Such a drama, or such a I can't read that word because my mic is in the way. I love when it's like I read at the bottom. It's hard for me to read it. I'll read it. I'll probably remember what it was when it goes up a little bit. But something I want to say it says of because I don't know anything else that ends with a an F of everything philosopher ever. Yeah, I can gather what you said. Anyways, it's just trash, man. But going out of that situation, but still relating that situation, that's why this stream is called The Art Commentary Community is so fucked right now. Because that has been happening in so many situations. And it's ridiculous. Because no one calls out, where's your proof? They'll say, this person said this. And I'm just like, okay, where's your proof? They said it. Where's your proof? Here, see, this happened. How do you know it's malicious? Because I feel like it is. What if you're wrong? I'm not, because I feel like it is. Nobody will point that out. This is why I need solid proof on a lot of situations. Especially because I think it was a lot different. When people would make videos or talk about situations, and it'd be like, oh, okay, you're informing me on something, right? So like, let's say somebody just made a video without any screenshots. You know, they were like a small creator, like me's, and they had no screenshots. They had nothing. Usually, I wouldn't even believe them, but I would at least find the video entertaining because they wouldn't make a follow-up video about it. They wouldn't be reaching for people to make sure their video goes out like it's the most important thing in the world. Ooh, this reminds me of fucking Dolly Guts all over again. God damn it. I need to not be reminded of that shit. But fucking they'll just push it out to the, like, it needs to be heard. It's not this whole big thing. It's just like, I feel this way. And I may not have all the screenshots I need, but I feel this way. Take it for what you believe. I mean, like, take it for what it is. And people would take it for what it is. And you would never see it gain more traction than regular. You know what I mean? Because it had no proof. There's nothing solid. People believe what they believe, and they didn't believe what they didn't believe. And even when they would bring it up in conversation, it would be like oh, well, I saw this video, and so that's somebody who said this, but, you know, we're not entirely sure. That's how it used to be. Or maybe that's just how those commentators used to be. But now I full on see commentators believing people at their word with barely any proof, or not even calling people out when they're wrong in a situation. Situations are now just fucking black and white, and these situations are dumb on top of that. So these commentators just look sketchy. They look biased. They fucking are biased. Let me explain to you guys what bias is, because I feel like that whole word has now become something that it's not. When someone is biased, that means they are giving you information solely based on their feelings alone. That is a biased situation. Now, to be frank with you, most situations are biased. Even if you're talking about the attitude situation, if you're not blatantly just laying out the facts and you're talking about how you feel about the situation, that situation is now automatically biased. Straight up. Because you can mix your feelings with the truth. I think people are blatantly ignoring that. You can fucking mix your feelings with the truth to now add to your feelings. That's why I don't trust screenshots that are out. That's why no one should trust screenshots that are cropped. This is why we usually have to have the whole entire conversation. Because you can go in those screenshots, and even though you could literally be right? You could literally be right. Let's say you're saying this person is harassing you. You could literally be right about that. That could be the full truth. But you can still, because of your feelings, just go in there and find the most incriminating. It could be literally a basic situation of somebody well, let's go with this scenario, right? Let's go with the full on scenario. Okay, let's full on scenario this, man. Someone's being mean to me, right? Someone has been calling me fat, ugly, bitch, the N word, all of it. Okay, let's not use the N word, but they call me bitch, fat, ugly, all of it, right? And I could make a video being like, see, they called me mean. They call me mean names. They're a terrible person. No one should like them. This is basically what's happening right now. No one could like them. It's a whole thing. I can tell you guys, I never did anything mean to this person in life. You'll never see me doing anything mean to this person. They were just mean to me, and they just lied to me because of reasons. You have to believe me, guys. See, this conversation was really, really nice in the beginning, but then they took an evil turn and started lying to me like they're monsters. Look at my evidence. Look. See, they called me mean names here, and you could believe me. Then the full DMs can come out, and it shows that, oh, I called them a bitch up front. Oh, my messages come off real aggressive. Oh, there are tweets and messages and things like that that made that person feel a certain way. They could come out with a video now because they're not being harassed by everybody else, or depending on if they're being harassed. It's the whole thing. Because, what is it called? People attacking you can also confuse the situation for you as the person who is being accused. They can now come up out with a video being like, she literally called me every name. She called me the N-word. She was being so rude to me at first. This started over an argument, and then I started not liking her. But then other people came to me and started saying other stuff as well. Like saying this, that, and the third. And then they started being rude to me as well. They started doing this as well. They started doing this, that, and the third. This now comes off aggressive. Example, Hopeless Peaches, she used to be friends with, but she used to know Toby. She used to know a lot of people in that group. Or not know, but, she used to acquaintance herself with a lot of people in that group. You know what it could have been? Maybe, because Toby had been criticizing Creepshow Art for a minute now with her whole friend group, and not necessarily like being shitty to her, but like criticizing her. Do you ever think that maybe what happened was Hopeless Peaches heard that and heard the criticisms and watched the videos? Maybe because she watched the videos, she saw the messages and what this girl said in an entirely different light. Of course, we don't see the messages because people just believe shit out of nowhere. Maybe she saw them, right? I feel like I went out of my hypothetical, but now went into actually talking about the situation of maybe she saw them. And now all those messages, because their messages seem a lot different than how they were before. Maybe you don't know, because Creepshow's not thinking about what she maybe did wrong, and that's why I have self-reflection, and this is why a lot of the time I let situations go after I talk about them. And if somebody says, well, you were a hypocrite in this, I'll be like, oh yeah, I probably was. And I'm sorry if you feel that way, or I'm sorry if that happened, or I'm sorry if I was, because in the moment, this is how I felt, but after reflecting on it, it's like, okay, well, maybe I could have did this better. This could have been this. I could have said this. You guys know, if you've ever seen my comment section, I can come off like a raging bitch a lot of the time. Does that mean I mean to? No, I just have this weird bitchy tone about me, even when I type. And I try being really, like, mindful of it. Like I always have. Like, it's just, I can either be, like, a really nice person or really sound like a bitch. And if I'm just, like, just typing away, like, not even thinking about it, I can just easily just sound like a fucking, like, I'm being overly aggressive. And so people that say that could be like, she's been a bitch to me before, and she's been so rude to me and so mean. And it's like, I didn't mean to. I just typed that way. And it could, see how easy it could be a confusion when you don't have that self-reflection. It's so fucking easy. It's so fucking easy. And with Creepshow being attacked on several different occasions that are very valid and very true, and maybe feeling very overwhelmed, you see how she can just feel, she can still feel attacked. She can still feel like a victim. And so it comes situations like this, and talking to someone like Prison Luke, who doesn't do his fucking research and doesn't see everything, and can't even say he saw everything because Creepshow admitted that she doesn't have the evidence for everything. How someone like that can now gas you up to thinking that you're just right in the situation and that person's terrible. And now every other person and commentator is now coming to Peaches and being like, I'm so disappointed in you. I'm taking down my fan art. I hate you. I don't like you. You did all this stuff wrong. And she made a video, not even people didn't even give her the benefit of the doubt, thinking that her video wasn't the only video that she was gonna make, and she had to make a specific thing saying this is part one because people didn't care to listen that much. You get what I'm saying? And she was from. I didn't watch the initial video, but I didn't watch the second video either. And she could have lied. She could have bullshit. There could have been direct contradictions to what she said in that video. But just because, just like how, with the Creepshow video I watched. I'm sorry, I'm having a stroke right now. But just like with the Creepshow video what I watched, there are a lot of things that she contradicted herself on. Well, in my opinion, there's a lot of things that I'm like, you've done that before. Are you now an asshole? Should I be shitting on you? You still do that shit. Should I be shitting on you for doing that? Or are you just gonna ignore that? Okay, we're just gonna ignore it. There are several situations to where I looked at that video that she made and I'm like, so when it came to how you guys interacted, it really wasn't that serious. That's kind of the grass. Again, the what's her name, Camilla? I forget the person's name that she was talking about. But the Camilla thing, I could totally understand. She came off like a little bit bitchy, and if they didn't, work that out, which they totally could have, she seems like an asshole. Again, don't get me wrong, Peaches is someone an asshole, but there's so many variables, and this is my point. I'm trying to like not prattle on for too long. There's so many variables, there's so many problems with this dumbass drama that people just aren't seeing, nor do they care about, that it makes it so you could literally be talking about a situation that is so gray and making it so black and white. And it's so stupid. And it's so dumb. And why are we doing that? It's literally, again, the situation solely boils down to when she's mean to me, when. I don't care that she was mean to you. I give less of a fuck. I really do. You know what I'm gonna do? Because I don't want you guys just sitting and watching nothing. I'm gonna put up Genshin on my screen, so it's a lot. Like, so you guys are watching something and not just looking at a blank screen. But I'm gonna keep ranting. What was I fucking saying? Let me get this off the screen, damn it. Excuse me. Wait, I got burp. Give me a second. It didn't come. I hate that. But it's just to the point where it's like, again, that's kind of what it's been for some months now. This whole 2020 has been the year of, I'm gonna believe people at what they say because I like them. And that's not biased. That's not like the worst thing to do. That's not the one thing they tell. Like, if there was a school for being a commentator, that's the biggest thing people tell you not to do. Don't believe people at their word. Don't believe that this person is this. Don't believe shit that has no proof. They will tell you that shit. But because it's this situation, because it's this person, we're just going to do that. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. You have to show me proof. And if you specifically say in your video, I have no proof for this, but believe my, well, she didn't say specifically believe my word on this, but she basically was just like, believe me. You got to take take it for the team and just believe me. She literally said she didn't have proof for a lot of it. But she still said it with her whole fucking chest. She said it and then also said, I don't have proof for it. It's just going off of my memory. But I was supposed to believe it. But I'm supposed to think, boo-hoo, I feel bad for you. And people are using it as if she had full-on proof for it. And you guys wonder why I'm irritated with this. Why I hate certain things. Why Toby drama irritated me so because it was the same shit. I don't have proof for this. I'm making assumptions. This is my feelings, but I'm supposed to take it at word. There was a lot of I'm black, so believe me, but I. And again, not saying even in that situation that Kai and Omnia were solely wrong. I know for a fact a lot of them, a lot of in their videos, a lot in their videos, they made pretty good points. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. Was the situation serious enough to where, because after like the end of the situation, especially with the Spockter video, I was like, okay, Spockter, you're biased in the situation. You're literally barely taking any of what they did into consideration of what they should do next time, what it should be. And a lot of the situation ended up being, well, everybody else is biased, so it's fine. It's like Kai and Omni were biased too, and you're literally blatantly ignoring it. This whole situation was dumb. I think you just want it to be over, so because it's that stupid. And sure, your friends made a lot of mistakes, so did Kai and Omnia. And literally nobody cares about that. When everybody else is making mistakes, everybody was down their throats. They make mistakes, it's fine. No, I'm a sole believer of keep the same fucking energy. I'm sorry if the screen is fucking black. I'm trying to log into my thing and I forgot my password that quickly. No, I want the other one actually. Fuck, I don't have the other one. I'm sorry, I have to bring it up on my phone. But it's wow. Like I fucking I wow. I'm sorry again if I'm not reading your comments. I'm just gonna I guess I'm logging into mine. I have two Genshin accounts and I want the one with D-Luke on it because I like that one, but I guess I can just have this one because it's the one I have the most stuff for. Hopefully that's not too loud. Let me see. Hopefully that's not too loud. Yeah, I don't think it's loud. Hopefully it's not too loud. Give me a second. Let me do the thing and then move the screen after I go into it. But yeah, it's just it's a crock of shit, and that happens. And it's been a thing for many months in this community, and it's like I hate it. I hate this community. I don't watch any commentators anymore at this point. I don't care about art drama. I just don't care. Cause it's straight up, I don't have proof, believe me at my word. And then, like with Hopeless Peaches, when you start believing people at their word, and then it's a problem. When that person's now exposed for this, there's a problem when it's like, you should never be believing any commentator, me included, at my fucking word. I've made many mistakes in the videos and then had to correct myself. Whether that's taking the video down, re-uploading it, whether that's telling you guys later that this was a mistake, whether that's having a follow-up video saying that I thought something but it didn't actually go out the way. You can't just believe people. And for people to be wanting to be this pillar of moral, like this, taking the biggest moral high ground situations, but then end up being wrong. I can't. It's crazy bonkers town that that's a thing. I just, oh my god, it's just hard for me to want to not scream. Does that make sense? Like it's just, I'm trying to be nice about this. I really am. Again, I come off very bitchy, but I don't want to say this in the wrong way. This whole situation just shows me, oh, people just don't care about anything but what makes them look good. And again, I'm wrong sometimes. There'll be times where I straight up am just being a biased, bitchy person. And when that day comes, if it hasn't already come already, which I'm pretty sure it already has, you shouldn't have been leaving shit I said in the first place. You know what I mean? Even with the... Give me a second. Sorry, my controller got all fucking fucked. What was I doing? What was I doing? There we go. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I'm like trying to figure this out, so half of the time I'm just like trying to do this. Damn, I lost like the train of thought that quickly. No, I need to attach this to not this. I need to attach it to this. Do 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 do. Here. No. Why is it not working? Sorry, give me a second. I'm trying to... I don't understand. Oh my god, it's happening again. No! Fuck. Damn it. That shit's irritating. Whatever. Here, let me read some of your comments so I can at least be a bit more... Like, I can see it, because the thing's not gonna let me do it while I'm scrolling, which is irritating, because I can't connect it to the window. That's fucking bullshit. Anyways, I already read that, this, hello, what's going on again? Yeah, I'm talking about the Hopeless Peaches situation and how it's a bunch of shit and how all commentators are on the more high ground when they're all fucking hypocrites, biased ass pieces of shit who don't look at evidence and proof and just look at people's feelings and take people's word for it. And even if that person can show one set of things that proves something, and doesn't even prove the entire claim, and people will just believe that and then be like, okay, well, you're credible now. And it's like, all right, cool, great, love that. And then again, Creepshow showed in the fucking community tab that she got something wrong, so that just whatever. We're just gonna ignore that though. The one thing that made me cringe the hardest was President Luke's comment on, I think, Omnia's Peaches video that was white people. Oh wait, he made a comment on it? Was President Luke's comment on I think Peach's video was like white people. Oh god, really? Was that really it? Oh my god. I hate him as a commentator. He sucks. He's just he was really good in the beginning, in my personal opinion, but as soon as he started making content that you could tell he looked at one video on the situation, and then yeah. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, that whole video with him and Pyro. Oh my, that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Before I was like, he could change, but I'm like, nah, he doesn't care, and people don't care to correct him. So it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, I saw that comment. It made me cringe a little. Yeah, Peaches is digging herself a hole. The poor thing. She really is. Because even if she could prove that most of what she said, wasn't what she said, she still did stuff wrong. So it honestly, to be fair, it's still proven that she's a dick of some sort. Again, don't get me wrong. She's still kind of an asshole. It's just, it's what it is. For me personally. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let's see. If I feel like Luke is always trying to get on the good side of the commentary community, let's be honest, there is no such thing as a good side or bad side when it comes to communities like this. Yeah, not really, no. Everybody can and probably is at fault in some way, pretty much. Especially in a situation like this where it's literally she was mean to me, where, yeah. No one's, well, most of the time, people aren't just evil beings that want to see you go down in life because of reasons. You might have done something which, let's be 100%, Creepshow has done things that make you seem not credible, not I'm having a stroke. Not trustworthy like Peaches. She's done many things that make her seem very sketchy. So I'm not going to fault her for then changing her whole approach to how she talks to Creepshow, what she said, what Creepshow has said to her, and her taking that differently. Like, I could see that happening because, again, Creepshow had done some shit that's like, okay, I don't know I can believe what you say. And let's not, and I don't, let's be honest, let's not act like, again, that everything's clean in the buttermilk when it comes to what Creepshow says about other people. Again, she had made a whole video and talked shit to a whole other creator about a situation and barely showed proof of it, and then got something wrong in it because that other creator, she knows for a fact that person does not fact check shit. There's no way you can know Prison Luke for more than 5 seconds and not know that he doesn't fact check anything. You knew that. You knew that with your whole chest. Let's be honest. I can, because apparently we can make assumptions. I have no proof of that, but I can make that assumption with pretty decent evidence of like watching one of his videos, and yeah, I can come to that conclusion. But you knew, you watched his videos, you've commented on his videos. You apparently confided in him about the situation, because how do you get those screenshots then? You know what I mean? You told him stuff and you barely showed him proof of that, and then he went to his audience barely showing proof and showing assumptions at best, and like, and you let him with his whole chest make that video. The situation wasn't as serious, and you had barely any proof or anything, and ended up being wrong in some way, shape, or form, which makes a lot of your arguments of take my word for it kind of sketchy. You let him take all that information, and you let him make that video about it. But we're not going to point that out because it's Creepshow art, and she never does anything wrong. And trust me, guys, I would make a video about this. Don't get me even twisted. I would, if I didn't care about my mental health. I saw what they did to Peaches, and though, again, it's very valid in some cases of what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're treating her because of the shitty stuff that she has done, I'm not even touching that. It's the same thing with the Toby situation of this this community is toxic. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Because if I point out the clear mistakes and the clear, well, I just have to believe you at your word shit, then it's, you're victim blaming, and Peter's a terrible person. Why are you being mean to Creepshow? Where? And it's like, no, I'm just stating facts. You barely showed evidence and wanted me to take your word for a lot of claims that you couldn't show. A lot of it were assumptions, and the whole video, I just kept saying, where is said proof? Because you're saying, I have proof for this, or here's the proof, and I'm like, but where? But where? Where? Where is it? I'm waiting. I'm genuinely waiting. I was genuinely waiting in that video for the proof to come out of nowhere, or for her to be like, "Ha, this is why I said this. See, I saw," like, even with the people that she claimed that told her these things. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna see. So I'm not gonna show those DMs. Then you can't make that claim, sweetheart. You can't make the claim and then not show the DMs and just say, well, they said it. I know they said it. Or Peaches will expose herself later. Again, your influence can drastically affect that. Did you know that? Did you know, because of your influence, because of how many subs you have, because you had a toxic person like Prison Luke make that video with his whole chest as if he has all the evidence and his fan base is toxic, that can literally shift the entire narrative and make Peach believe that she did something wrong when you get what I'm saying? You're not taking that into consideration. You're just saying, well, if I was wrong, someone will prove me wrong. You have more subs than any of these channels combined. No one's gonna prove you wrong. They would immediately be attacked. Immediately. And so, okay, I don't want to be, okay, see, I was about to have a bitchy comment. Now I'm gonna say it because I don't mean it in the bitchy way, but this example, I could prove right now that claim Peach had of the commentary community being scared of you, or people being scared of you, could be true. Because in my personal opinion, for me to point out any of these faults in your story or in what you guys are saying, that's really scary for me as a commentator. I don't want to be attacked. I don't care that much. I just want to talk about how stupid it was. That's why I'm live streaming this. That's really scary. So I could be like, well, that's a proof right there. I'm a small commentator, and I want to talk about it. Even just me, I and many other people had wanted to make the video that Toby made about you, but we were very scared to do that because you were very clearly lashing out at people who you felt were in the wrong or you felt disagreed with you. And so when you got that and you got people that back you up and you have such of a toxic fan base, which you very much have, and let's be honest, most commentators have a toxic fan base because you're just having a bunch of people that trust you and believe you at your word. That kind of stuff can be scary. So was what Peaches said entirely wrong? Not even really. Even that, well, let's be honest, that claim right there, not really. She wasn't wrong when saying that. A lot of people are scared of you. Yeah, that's why Toby made the initial video. Well, another girl actually made the first video on her, but it was on a specific situation, not on all of Creepshow's faults. But that's why Toby made the initial video. Did you not know that? Like, people are really dumb. Did you not know that that's why no one else made a video, but everybody else made a follow-up video after Toby's? Because we were scared. Because you're a big creator that people trust. So the claim that people are scared of you isn't even all the way not true. That's actually, wow. But again, if I say that in the video, it's not gonna be fun for me. I'm not gonna have a fun time. I'm leaving this live stream up, by the way. But still, it wouldn't be a fun time for me if I did that. If I showed that I can't just believe you at your word and this whole thing is stupid, I'd immediately be attacked. I'd be said that I'm on Peach's side, even though I'm very much not. I don't care about this girl. I don't even watch her that much. I barely watch any of what she says because a lot of what she says is just regurgitated. It's like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Let me read some of you guys' stuff because my life is ending right now. Let's see. I already read that. I thought Spoctor was pretty unbiased. You could feel that way. I didn't. Because a lot of the stuff that you know how you can think somebody's majority wrong without necessarily pointing out that they're wrong in a very aggressive way. But how can I explain this? Most of the time, and that's I guess my point. I mean, I'm trying to word this right, so I'm not entirely stumbling over my words. Most commentators are biased. Full on. Most commentators are biased. Most of us knew, if not, and maybe you didn't, but most of us knew exactly how he was going to feel about that video, or how he was going to feel in that video. I didn't even need to watch the video entirely to know, which I did. I watched the video entirely, but I didn't need to know exactly what he was going to say and how he was going to feel. Not just because I watch him, because I don't even watch him that often, because I know how he feels about the situation, because he feels similar to how a lot of people feel. And I kind of knew where he was going at that. And some things he blatantly didn't. Like, example, even with Peaches, she made a video, or like how or not Kai, I keep mixing them up, I can't. How Omnia said in her video, Peaches initially was okay, or was pretty much on her side when it came to the Toby situation, because she didn't know all the information. She didn't know everything Kai and Omnia did or didn't do, so she didn't have her informed opinion, and so she was kind of biased in the sense, and she was very much biased in the sense of she didn't like Toby because of something that happened to her personally with Toby, and they had a beef apparently. Well, she didn't like, let me not say she didn't like her, but she wasn't in high favor of her. But as soon as she heard the whole situation, she was like, you know, I can see from both people, I can see how the situation is really stupid and how that can be, even though I may not fully agree with it, I can see how how she can look pretty sketchy by leaking those DMs. I'm thinking of a personal, because she even said in her comment on the tweet that Omnia was talking about, that she had a personal experience with that type of stuff. So she already had a previous bias, but maybe not looking at it with a biased eye, she changed her mind. But no, she can't do that because that's against them. And that's somehow a criticism. But yours isn't. But you doing that, that's not. But do you get what I'm saying? Most commentators are biased, is my point here. And so when it comes to these types of situations, it's like, yeah, he was kind of biased. He didn't point that out. He didn't point that part out. But people use that thing of Peaches flip flopping and talking about the situation as if it excuse me, I'm having a struggle talking, as if that was like a problematic thing that she changed her mind. People were genuinely using her changing her mind, and he didn't entirely do that because he didn't talk too much in depth about it. But basically, people were using the fact that she changed her mind because she was already biased and kind of tried to look at it from both perspectives and just ended up changing her mind. They are still using that as if that is a genuine thing. It would be different if she said, excuse me, if she even denied it, that she changed her mind. She never did. There was never a conversation to be had about her changing her mind. It was basically just like, oh, you changed your mind? You're biased now. It's like, no, that's not how that works. You have to go talk to the person and be like, hey, you changed your mind on this. Why'd you change your mind? Was it something that was different? Was it something, I mean, I can pretty much at least not gather, because I don't want to make it very concrete. I can hypothesize on why she changed her mind, but no one ever asked. And again, it's hard for me to ask now, because now she has a bunch of people down her throat as if changing her mind was an actual problem. So even if she just changed her mind of like, well, I just feel differently now. I watched this video and it made me feel like, yeah, I can understand why people might feel this way. She can't say that now, or she wouldn't say that now. Of course she wouldn't. Because now, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm having like a problem. I have a lisp. It's a whole thing. Like I'm swallowing spit. It's what it is. But now her whole view can be altered just by bigger or more trustworthy. I use the hardest quotation marks when I say that. More trustworthy commentators calling her out for it with no proof or just assumptions. It could that's how easy these things can be biased and just turn in somebody else's favor. Thank you, car backing up. I enjoy the sound of beeps. Thank you for shutting up. You get what I'm saying? That's why these situations, I try not to take them with so much, like, I try not to take them personally, and I try to forget about them as soon as I make a video about it, because I don't know the entire story, and even if I feel a certain way about a certain thing, I try to forget about it later, mainly because I don't know the whole story, and we may never know the whole story because of the situation, behind it, and because of what's already transpired, and because people are making a video about it, and people already have made up their minds about it. So just to avoid, it becoming like a thing of I'm wrong, or this person is just being wrongfully attacked, I'm like, okay, this is how I feel about it at the time, but people can change, they can grow, they can be different, and because we've already made up our minds about it, at this point, we just have to take it for what it is. And if this person, even if this person doesn't change, by the way, which this is a thing that you guys need to understand, if a person doesn't change, like as example, Anti-Tunes, he hasn't changed at all. Just because he hasn't changed doesn't mean that gives me the right to sit here and bring up his shit all the time. Yeah, we know Anti-Tunes is an asshole, and guess what? They're assholes in this world, and you can't just sit here and act like you can not even hold them accountable anymore. At this point, it's straight up, excuse me, I wouldn't say it's harassment or bullying. Let me not go that far. Give me a second. Let me get some water, because I'm like dying right now. Let me get some water. Excuse me, sorry. It's not harassment and bullying or anything like that, but we're just straight up just bothering these people at this point. Because if somebody's an asshole and they feel like they're not an asshole, there's literally nothing you can do about that. So me making a video, me talking about it, me bringing it up to him every 5 seconds on Twitter, it's not helping, it's not hurting, it's not me being a good person, it's not me keeping them accountable. It's literally just me being like, hey, I know you don't care about this, but I'm gonna keep bothering you about it. And it sounds like accountability because, oh well, I don't like this person, or I feel like they're racist, or I feel like, which I don't, by the way, but well, I think he was racist, but I don't think that he is intentionally like a racist person, like he hates black people or something. But it's me personally feeling attacked by this person and then taking my time and energy and letting them live rent free in my mind and bothering them until they change, or I feel basically good about them being a better person. Which, think of it like this: if I did that with everybody in my life, I'd be insane. You know how many people I hate in my household right now? That are underneath the roof, that are literally not even 5 feet away from me. Maybe not that close, but like, that are literally in the same house as me. If I held them accountable, or what the internet thinks is holding someone accountable every single day, I'd blow my brains out. I can't do that. I can't live my life worrying about somebody else that, again, we're a situation where I might be biased because I live in a house with them and I might have been slighted by them before, and I might have a bias that I'm not even thinking about, or I may not even be reflecting on. You know, it's like when you're a kid, you think that adults are like the shittiest people in the world, and then you get to be an adult and you're like, I get it. I get why mom was yelling at me that one time. Like, she had to pay the bill. It's stressful. Like, she's stressed out right now. That's what it was. That's pretty much how all these situations are. Of like, you don't get it until you're underneath that person's shoes. Then all of a sudden, it's why you see so many hypocrites all of a sudden coming up, because now they're in the exact same situations as the people they were talking about. And now all of a sudden, that whole, well, I would never do this. Guess how quickly that flew out the fucking window. So quickly. Because now they're in the exact same situation, so they're like, okay, I get it. I get why you said this, or I get why you had to. Like, example with Kai and Anya, they were defending themselves to the grave, but there are several instances of them feeling a certain way about certain people trying to defend themselves or making videos because, why are you doing this? Why are you saying that? It's a dumb thing to say. We all do that, of like, why did you say this? Or, girl, why'd you make that video? It was so bad. But then when you're the one making the bad, not saying they did, just saying an example, when you're the one making the bad video, when you're the one in the controversy making bad decisions that you thought were good, all of a sudden you get it now. All of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I can understand why they feel the way. That's why people were so, or that's why me personally, I was so thoroughly irritated with them making the videos that they were. Like, I'm defending myself, because in any other situation, that would be annoying. Because why are you defending yourself? If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, it's what it is. We always say that to people, of not necessarily not to defend themselves, but when you're making like 4 videos defending yourself on every person who commentates on you, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, like, this, it won't change anything. People are still gonna believe what they're gonna believe. Your video literally changed no one's mind. It literally changed no one's mind. Your fans still like you, and their fans still like them. It changed no one's mind. Especially if both of them are more feeling-based thing than fact, which that whole situation was. But you get what I'm saying. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's so blatantly like that. And before, I was under the assumption that everybody understood that. That's why this is so confusing and irritating for me. That's why I hate this community now. I was under the assumption everybody understood that. That, yeah, you can make a video about it. Yeah, you can talk about it. Feel free. But at the end of the day, we're all just making most of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time, we were all just making assumptions. We were all just going by what we saw, not by what we didn't see, not by the questions we didn't ask. And usually, most of the time, it ends up years or months down the line. And, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but you guys will know what I mean by that soon. That maybe we were wrong. Maybe there was a different opinion that literally changed the whole outcome of the situation. And all of a sudden, Anti-Tunes, which I don't think that will happen with him, but with Anti-Tunes, doesn't look so terrible anymore. Now all of a sudden, it seems like people were a little bit too much in their feelings. That won't happen with him, but like that kind of situation could literally turn in a blink of an eye. Just because maybe we didn't ask this question, maybe we didn't see this, maybe we didn't see the entire screenshot of this, maybe we didn't see this, maybe we didn't see that, maybe we didn't see this, that, and the third, and how this person may have thought this or that or whatever. We didn't see it because we didn't ask, because we didn't care. Everybody was kind of under that assumption, which is why I like videos that are like, hey, this person did this bad thing, and I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm never talking about it again. You know what I mean? Now on to the next drama and on to the next situation. If they change, it's what it is. If they don't, it's what it is. But now all of a sudden it's like, no. There has to be somebody who's terrible, who we literally ostracize. You know that thing that Creepshow accused Peaches of doing, but then she's now doing to her, basically. And she knows she is. Whether she has the intention of doing it, that's different. But at this point, from what else happened, pretty much after Prison Luke made that video, she knew what this was. So any mistakes that she makes, any proof she doesn't show, any of that, and any hate Peaches gets for that shit that she never showed, that shit she got wrong, that's on her. Straight up. But people aren't going to point that out nowadays, let's be honest, because this whole community is filled with, well, I want to be on the good side. I want to be on the side of good. I want to be on the side of the people that are bigger or in the more right in the situation. It's like, and if you question their authority in any way, it's terrible. That's why I don't like people coming out with their personal experience with Peaches, because even because of that one video, that personal experience that you had could, other than Kamala's, you know who I'm talking about. Even other than hers, I would say, everybody else's feelings could be warped by that one video, because they want to be in the right. They want to have that video talking about their experience with Peaches and how terrible she is and this, that, and the third, and they barely have to show proof either, because Creepshow never showed proof, and people are believing her, and she's like Peaches is a hot topic right now, so it is what it is. And again, not to say that she didn't do anything wrong. The Peaches is just the most, like, a precious baby who needs to be protected. It's not what it is. It's just the biasness, the hypocrisy of it all. The I want to be in the right. The everything's so black and white when we know for a fact it isn't. And the commentators I used to watch, solely because they understood that concept of someone can be really wrong but not entirely wrong, or something can be seen in two perspectives, and then them giving their opinion of like, well, I believe this perspective, I believe this was malicious, I believe this, that, and third, but it could be something different. At this point, all those commentators have gone out the window and just been like, no, it's malicious because this person said so. It's malicious because I feel this way. Well, can it not be malicious? Yeah, technically, but it is. What's your proof? No, I feel the way. I feel the way I feel. And I want this person to not be looked at as a good person because of it. So I'm just going to blatantly lie and say that it's all malicious. Or that there's even probable cause that's all malicious. You don't know the situation. You never looked at these screenshots. Half of us don't even know the full story and haven't even seen the full context of the conversation. And no people are going to ask her for it. I feel like there might be a few people who ask her for it, and it will probably be in the most biased way possible. And what I mean by that is like, show me more examples of her being nice to you, or show me more examples of this. I'm personally, for me, I would be like, give me the entire conversation. I'll look it over myself and feel the way I feel. I'll go full Bo Blacks and read the entire situation, or read the entire conversation that's relevant to what you're talking about. And for me, I'll be like, yeah, that comes off aggressive. Yeah, to me, that can come off aggressive, that can come off mean, that can come off a certain way. Even for me, because I've watched the videos, for example, for me, because I watched the videos I've watched on Creepshow, on Peaches, on everybody I'm talking about right now, I'm biased. in a way. Well, yeah, in a way. I guess is that really biased? I know. No, yeah, no, it's a bias. I'm biased, but in the way I'm thinking right now, I'm like, I don't know. That's a biased way, but I'm biased either way. Um, because I know their credibility is iffy at best. I know they've lied in the past. They've contradicted themselves. I've been watching these people's content for years. When I say I watch somebody, I watch them. They become the thing I watch the most. They become something that I just like binge watch. So I watch these people. I see their mannerisms, how they act, what they do. I take that into consideration. And if I keep watching you, that means I like you. And maybe it doesn't mean that you're all right in how you feel and what you say, but I at least respect your opinion and who you are. Usually. So I'm biased in the sense of I've watched all these people. I know how they are, and I know how biased and dickish they can be, how over exaggerating they can be, how a lot of them have anxiety or some form of mental illness that gives them very much anxiety, or that makes them a bit more hypocritical when it comes to situations that are personal to them. And we all can be that way, don't get me wrong. We all can be that way, but I know for a fact these people are not known for it, but they do it pretty often. So in this situation, I just see a bunch of people that I've known for years, that I know, especially under stress and anxiety, especially I don't trust any kind of omnia say at this point because they're still recovering from the whole Toby situation. Excuse me. But that uh in that sense, all these people are under stress and they're, I'm sure, feeling some type of way, and they're still recovering, and they're still feeling attacked, and they're still feeling that they're all victims in each of the respective situations. And so it can easily warp how they feel, and for people to be taking, especially these claims, a lot of the claims not having any proof and just going off of assumptions and memory alone, it's baffling to me that no one wants to point it out, and everybody wants to talk about how terrible this person is, how this person is this, how this person is that. And it's like, I'm just sitting here like, show me this proof, and no one has. I haven't seen it yet. Again, not saying that all of her claims have no proof, but a lot of them don't, and a lot of them are supposed to validate the others. So I can't I can't I can't believe anything you're saying. I Especially because it's not as if, even with the Kai and Omnia situation, not entirely, you didn't come to these people in DMs and tell them. Because they could easily tell you, hey, I didn't mean to come off this aggressive, I didn't mean to do this, that, and the third. Excuse me, I'm about to burp. Because you never asked, because you never tried to work it out with them like they're human beings, now all of a sudden you're treating them as if they're not, as if she's not a human being, she's not a person, she's not a person that makes mistakes, she's not a person that could have misspoke, she's not a person who could have said something and it was interpreted another way. No, she's not a human being. You are. You're a human being, a precious baby from an angel from heaven, basically, that can never be wrong, but she's not. She's not a human being. She's not. She can't make mistakes. She can't misspeak. She can't. Nope. All of it was malicious. But you'll have none of the proof to show that. It could have been biased. It could have been influenced. But we're all under the assumption, well, we're all being told to be under the assumption that it was malicious, that she did this on purpose, that she just didn't like her for whatever reason, that obviously Creepshow has no reason for people not to like her. There's no reason not to trust anything she says. There's no reason that makes her seem kind of like an asshole and maybe would, again, warp the view of what she said or how she said it or the conversation that she had. No, because you said that you're my friend, there's no reason you should think any poor or any type of... You should never feel poorly about me, basically. Because if I don't tell you to feel poorly about me or I don't do something that directly affects you, you should never feel poorly about me. You know, my sister, well, I have two sisters, but let's say one of my sisters fucks over the other one. because she didn't do it directly to me, I shouldn't feel any type of way about my other sister. No, I should just feel the exact same way because she didn't do anything to me. She did it to my other sister, even though I know it was wrong, even though I know it was a shady thing. I should feel no malice towards her, which that's a scenario that actually happened. Like my sister, we fight. We're sisters. Like we all live in the same room. We were poor. It's like we fought, and I'm just closer to one sister than the other. So if she does something to that sister, I feel some other type of way about it. And same thing, vice versa. By the way, I'm not just saying like I don't care about my other sister at all. But it's for me. It's like if you did something wrong, then yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way about it. I don't care if it was to me or to my other sister. I don't care if it was to our brother. I don't care. Like if you did something wrong, then it is what it is. Like, oh, my niece is crying. Sorry, it's distracting me. That's just all I feel, you know what I mean? And let me read some of you guys' comments actually, because my wrist has been kind of fucking me over lately, so I'm just gonna put my thing down for a minute and I don't know, yeah, I gotta crack my bones, my bones. Uh, let's see what you guys are saying. Sorry. Also, going back to the video Omnia made on Peaches, she apparently claimed that she didn't want to put proof of what Peaches did because of Jar accusing her of leaking Toby's DM. Again, this is why Spoctor's thing is biased, and this is why President Luke is biased and dumb as fuck. Spoctor didn't, but President Luke even said that shit was sketchy. That you maybe shouldn't have been that impulsive to just put out DMs like that. That was the problem. Example, Shannon. She saw the DMs that might have been a little bit skewed in the sense of her memory. She took the time to blur out sensitive information on those DMs. But even then, you did cut out a lot of things in those DMs, and you're probably going to only show the DMs that prove your point. And that actually happened in that situation. I don't care what anybody said, because if I knew that Omnia also thought that what Shane did was fine, like I was under the assumption that wasn't the case, and that's why she was mad at what's her face for it. But from what we can see, she agreed with Toby. But people are still to this day blatantly ignoring that. She agreed with Toby, which means you're on the same high ground as she is. Whether you want to bring race into it or not, I don't care. As another black person, if you agree with the person, oh my god, I'm gonna blow my brains out. I'm not gonna go back into that situation. I need to stop. My point was that the reason those DMs were bad is because she was so impulsive with it and was just doing it because she believed no matter what Toby said, that the reason she said what she said in that tweet, which if you don't know what tweet I'm talking about, she said basically in a tweet that there was somebody that was lying on her and fabricating stuff and low-key calling her a pedophile, which she, with their own logic, she did insinuate that, but she was just using her own logic against her, which I'll agree with her on that if I'm using your own logic against you, you can't really say shit about, right? But she believed, instead of it being an impulsive moment, just like how she leaked those DMs, it being an impulsive moment or an impulsive tweet, she saw it as, this is blatantly malicious. You're just trying to discredit me because of this. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to communicate with you like a grown-ass adult. I'm not going to do any of that because we're all children on this, in the commentary community, we're all babies. We're all 4-year-old kids. And so I'm going to impulsively just leak all the DMs. Because I just need to do it right now because you're lying on me, and obviously I know for a fact she was feeling anxiety and it's a burst of like anger in that moment. I can understand that. I get it. I understand that. That's why we're just like, hey, you need to calm yourself down. Look through the DMs. Make sure that you're writing the DMs. Look through them. Find those DMs. And then show them. That's all anyone was telling you when they said that what you did was kind of sketchy was that you need to just, all we're basically telling you to do is just calm the fuck down and think about what you're about to do. And think about what that person said and how they said it and what happened. And then, put it out there. That's all it was. So her little thing with that example, that's the example of me showing, that shows me that no one cared to tell her that, which means no one cared to even look at that part. That's the example of what I'm talking about, of like people are just on their side and that's just what it is and they're just right, and if you say anything wrong towards them, it's just a fucking hate-filled attack at that point. Which at that point I can claim I'm scared of Kai and Omnia, and they're scary in this community. I can claim that now because that's how it works, right? What the fuck ever. Anyways, child. Anyways, it's just a whole thing of she can show those DMs, but just like with Creepshow, they're DMs. They can be interpreted certain ways. They are spur of the moment conversations. They are conversations that somebody had without even thinking about anything. They're not thinking about they're being a hypocrite when they say this. Especially when you're comforting someone, period. Which I don't think, did I watch Kai's or did I watch Omnia's entire video? I think I made this video specifically because I'm like, I don't care about the situation. I don't even care if I don't care about anything because none of them can prove any of this because of Creepshow admitting herself that a lot of this shit can't be proven. But I'm not saying Omnia can't prove that her experience isn't real. I'm not saying that. I meant like just the initial stuff, which is the problem I'm having right now. What did I say? I lost track right that quick. Me put my controller back up. It's not that I lost my train of thought right that quick. I stubbed my toe. Like, actually, so I lost my train of thought. That happened. My point was that I want to keep saying Kai and Omnia. I swear, I'm not doing that on purpose. Omnia can show those DMs, but even then they're gonna be sketchy. Because just with the Toby situation, I'm gonna be sketched out for your DMs. You know what I mean? Or not even just because of Toby's situation, I'm sorry, because of Creepshow, period. I'm gonna be sketched out with your DMs. And just because she said something mean to you once doesn't really doesn't show anything. You could say that you were mean to Harsh Opinions at first. I could say you're mean to a lot of people at first. I could make that the same claims you're making. I could literally make towards you. But it's fine because you guys are friends now. I know her and Harsh are now friends. Her and a lot of people are friends now. Because her video was biased, and totally Kai and Omnia's videos weren't biased, and that's nothing to apologize. And they didn't fuck up several times and then apologize like 4 or 5. But we're gonna ignore that part. I know I'm mumbling it, but we're gonna ignore that part. Whatever I just said, if you heard it, that we're gonna ignore it. But I can make those same claims. You see how see what happens when you reflect on what you say. And you're not just saying it out of anger or frustration, you all of a sudden become a lot more of a hypocrite than you want to let on. So when it comes to situations like this, everyone can be a hypocrite. Most people that are talking about that are hypocrites. Because somebody can say the same thing about them, but it won't get the same reaction. You know why? Because Creepshow's bigger. Solely because Creepshow is bigger and she has more credibility. She shouldn't, but she has more credibility. Does it make these claims that are really honestly insignificant so big? Does that mean that, does that mean that Peaches is this she's a peach? No. But does that mean that we can just believe anything anybody says ever just because, even if they have a good reputation, does that mean that you can just believe what somebody says entirely? No. Does that mean they have proof for what they said? No. Does that mean they didn't literally, and I'm not trying to use this one point against her, but she did, again, get something wrong in that statement. Again, when you have no proof or you're going off of memory alone, and it shows that in some in some way, shape, or form, you got like you had to be transparent and be like, okay, maybe this didn't happen the exact way I thought it did. It can now just put flaws and problems in everything you do. It's just I'm sorry, I sound like a broken record here. I'm trying to instill this point into you guys that you just can't believe in people. Again, even me, you could probably find several videos where I'm a hypocrite, and if you called me out on it, I'd be like, you know what? I totally I get it. Like, I fucking get it. Because you can do that with everybody. And again, I have a memory of a horse. So, or a horse. I am a horse. I have the memory of an elephant. So, like, I never forget that shit. And so it's hard for me not to blatantly be like, but didn't you say, like, not out loud, but in my mind be like, didn't you say this? Or didn't you make that? But didn't you also do, and sometimes they'll just point it out for me and be like, yeah, I did this, but it's way worse because it's them. And it's like, oh, okay. All right, child anyway. Like, that's how I feel every time. I'm just like, okay. Anyways, it's a whole thing. Um, so I can understand where, yeah, Peaches is digging herself a big hole, because honestly, even if she could prove, and she had the deleted screenshots, and she could prove that maybe she didn't, it came off a certain way, but there's no definitive proof that she said or did this, or that it was supposed to be this. Even if she did that, even if those same people came out with their DMs with Peaches, even if any of this happened, and it proved her right in this type of situation with the community that she is in, with the people that she is talking to, with the biased, hypocritical, I'll believe anything because I like you type people that she is dealing with, her best bet, personally, for me, I'm giving advice, her best bet is to simply apologize and just say she did everything wrong, and then never talk to these people again. That's the only thing she can do at this point. She could literally prove herself right, but no one would believe it. Unless she proved that the scale was, again, this is a black, because everybody wants to make it a black and white situation, and unless she can prove that the scale is, it just like flips basically, and she is innocent entirely, no one's gonna believe her. Or at least hit the scale to the point where you're higher than the other person. No one will believe her, which is sad and dumb, because somebody can make a mistake, someone can be an asshole back in the day, someone can say something because they assume something, and it can be a mistake, and that could be the end of it. But again, I don't like this community because that's not how it is anymore. It isn't. And I get why. I'm not ignorant to the fact that we're all biased, and all this is just kind of like, hell, it's, again, if you haven't been keeping up with the pyrocynical situation, you know for a fact that people can just actively ignore proof. I know this has been going on for a while, especially all this year. That's kind of all most of us have been doing, of actively denying proof at this point. But I know that's going on. It gets tiring after a while when you're just like, but there's proof here. We're not gonna look at that. I don't care about that. But this was never proven. I don't care. Her credibility is good, so it doesn't have to be proven. It's like, okay, cool. Everybody's on their woke shit. All right, great. Let me see if I can read your thing. It's so dumb, Omnia. If you have proof, show us proof. Exactly. I'd rather see proof. Finally, I'm sorry. I'd rather see proof, and I feel like her. I'm be honest with you. I still feel like her proof is going to be, again. See, I said this, so I assume that this is what it is. I don't trust this bitch as far as I can throw her. Honestly, I'm weak, so I can't throw anybody nowhere. Again, sorry if I worded that stuff in a weird way. You did. I agree with you. Like, it's some bullshit. My brain, be broken sometimes. Literally, I've been stuttering this entire time. Listen, I lost my train of thought like at least 4 or 5 times this entire rant. So like, and I could be eating my words tomorrow. Like it's just what it is. It's just how I feel at this current moment. Ayo, not all art commentaries are bad though. Yeah, all communities are really crap right now. Yeah, no, not, and I say this with the implication, I guess, that we're all kind of thinking the same thing in a sense of who I'm talking about, you know? Like, obviously, I'm not talking about people that aren't involved in this shit, that aren't talking about this, that only talk about things that aren't this, pretty much, you know, because there are a lot of commentators that I've actually been seeing recently that haven't literally been not even talking about any of these situations at all. And I'm like, oh, okay, I like you. Not because you're not talking about it, just because uh, I like your videos or I like your style or whatever. And oh, excuse me. And I've been finding a lot more of them lately. So not all of them are bad, but apparently, and I say this because I'm also using people's logic, you know, using people's logic in the sense of like, well, you know, two commentators saying that as long as they're big commentators, that speaks for the entire community. You know, I mean, Kai and Amnya used that whole argument of like, well, all these big commentators are talking about me, so see, everybody's against us. And it's like, but your videos are mainly positive, and those people get mass disliked, and those people get threatened and harassed. Hell, Manga Comic didn't even really talk about the situation, and before he made his video with Jar, again, he did not really talk about a situation like that. People were under the assumption because of something wrong someone said that he was in the situation. It was like he literally didn't say anything. Like he literally didn't even like he literally didn't like say anything that was like, oh, this person is this and I have a whole like twit longer about it. It was literally nothing like that. And people just were under the assumption that that was what it was. And it's like, I'm using people's logic. As long as bigger YouTubers are talking about it, I can say that it's everybody. Apparently, I can say that it's. I'm trying not to be a bitch about this. I'm trying really hard not to be a bitch about it. But you know, apparently that's how it works. Um. Oh, not gonna lie, I felt scared. Not gonna lie, I felt scared for Spoctor because people were threatening to unsub or cancel him if he was against Kai Namnia in any small way. Oh, they pretty much did that with Harsh. Even though her video was biased, it still was. It really wasn't a video that attacked them in an aggressive way. It was literally just the video that she would make on anybody. It wasn't like calling them pedophiles. It wasn't calling them anything. It was literally about a dumbass drama. And they made it seem like she literally took her video down because it was biased, quote unquote. What? Like that's an actual thing that happened. And everybody's okay with it. Because of her video was quote unquote biased, she took it down. So when Kai and Omnia got the information wrong in a lot of their videos or didn't show all the they're literally biased in the situation because they feel some type of way, and when they didn't show proof, they didn't take the. I'm trying not to say things that I'm not going to say because it's not. It's a harsh opinion. What I have, it's a very harsh opinion, but that's okay, and that's the standard now, actually. And not saying that she didn't do it out of her free will at this point, because if she, because you know they're friends. If she likes it, I love it. Go ahead and do you. But that's a thing that happened that I can't. But she feels the way she feels, and she feels how she feels about it. So I can't. I mean, I'm not gonna do anything about it. It's how she feels. She wanted to take that video down apparently, and that they're friends now. So I don't care. I literally don't anymore. Anyway, I just feel like that's a bad standard to set. But whatever. But whatever. And you know, her and many other people that tried to point that out didn't say anything. But you know, hey, that's not using your platform recklessly or anything. That's not basically being aggressive, knowing that people are, whether even if you just say that I don't agree with them because I feel this way, you know, this way, and didn't even expand on your point that if they made a video about you saying that they feel attacked and they feel this, that you would basically have to endure some form of harassment, or like, I mean an extreme version. Let's be honest. Let's not act like the harassment people were getting for the Kai and Omnia videos was small and insignificant. It was extreme harassment that was gross and disgusting and from their toxic fan base. And it was just inappropriate. And then what's her name? Dumbelina, I forget her name. But you know who I'm talking about, though. She did not help. She made it even worse because her fan base is low-key toxic when it comes to that shit. And it's like, that's not a shitty thing to do. If somebody disagrees with you or someone's making a video against you, whether it's biased or not, for you to do that as if they said that you were a monster in that video, which in no way, shape, or form was that even how it came off to most people. That's crazy. That was a standard that the community literally just set for itself. But whatever. Whatever, I guess. I don't. God, I can't. Like I said it before, I think anyone was. I don't think anybody was in the right in that situation. That's exactly. That's why I keep harping on their wrongdoings, because that's why even in the video that I made about Toby before the whole shit popped off, I was saying, like, I'm not even gonna talk about what Toby did wrong because we all know it. We all like, it's me beating a dead horse at that point. Me just saying everything that she did wrong. I think linked several videos on the situation. I think I did. Even if I didn't, there was Kai's video, Kai and Namia's videos was out there. The Hot Boxes video was out there. There were several videos, and I think even Cringy made a video on it. There are several videos out there criticizing this girl. You can watch any of them and see all the shit that she's like a hypocrite about. It's not hard to see. But when I point out the other side, and I got people coming in my DM saying all types of, like, coming at me sideways, I'm like, what? That's why I didn't make a follow video to that, because I'm just like, I saw 2 comments and I saw people in my DMs and I was like, nah, I'm over it. I just was like, I'm not gonna make a follow up. I'm not gonna talk about it. No one wanted to touch it. And that's it's crazy how people really acted like that was normal, and people really condoned that behavior. And Kai and Amia didn't say shit, and that was okay for them not to say shit. People really got death threats. People really got like this, like. But it's fine because we all feel like they're right in every way, shape, or form. So it amazes me how people can just go over these mental hoops. I swear. And I know I've been fighting monsters, and not going to the the marker over here. But I'm just kind of collecting shit at this point. I just need to get my what's it called? I need to get more gems. That's what I need to get. So I'm just kind of looking for them and just walking around at this point. But it's just crazy to me. It's crazy bonkers how this is going. Not even saying that Kai and Omni are all the way in the wrong, or this person was in the wrong. I just feel like no one's video was actually pointing out both sides. Spockter's video honestly did not point out everything that they did. Half of the shit that they did wrong. It didn't, because he was focusing more on everybody else's wrongdoings, but the actual people involved. People didn't want to talk about Toby's wrongdoing because it was like being ran to the mud at this point. But like, it was like, that's why I feel that necessarily it was biased, because you already knew what he was trying to do by that. Was just to be like, hey friends, you're backing up, which, don't get me wrong, they, in some cases they were. Because a lot of them were biased, and when you make a video like that, you shouldn't, well, no, I wouldn't say you shouldn't be. I would say, if it's a video defending your friend, I get it. But also, what's the word I'm looking for? You should hear them out, is what I'm basically trying to say. You should hear out the other side, which those people honestly did not do. So don't get it twisted. They didn't. They really should have heard out the other side beforehand, because I can even understand how Kai and Omnia felt, why they felt the way they felt, and seeing what Toby actually did to them. Do I think that Toby's entirely wrong and that she's a monster that they made her out to be because they solely made her out to be a monster? Hell no. That is not even close to what to how I feel, and I couldn't even say that I actually feel that way in any way, shape, or form. But is Toby kind of a hypocritical weirdo? Yeah. But I'm not gonna now be like, I don't feel like watching her content because of this, or she's just an awful person. This honestly started out with just people critiquing her on things that aren't that serious. And these things genuinely are not that serious. And the fact that people are tired of the situation and don't realize the reason you're tired of it because the situation was blown up to be something that it wasn't. It was literally just Toby's a dumb bitch, hypocrite. Pretty much she's what Shannon was when we watched the video that Toby made on her. It was pretty much the exact same thing. Shannon was a hypocritical dumbass bitch, kind of overly aggressive, doing the most, being a dick, and then, you know, let me not say that, that's rude. I'm trying to hold my tongue on some certain things I want to say. But she was being too much, basically. And the same thing with Toby. She was being too much. She was on her moral high horse, but not doing the exact same thing, making mistakes, fucking up. And people made it basically into, this girl is terrible. Even when they were both in their feelings about the DMs, right? And they were both feeling a certain type of way about it. And they were both feeling a certain type of way about it. And they both were feeling as if the other person was taking their words out of context. They were feeling a certain way. Even in that scenario, there's still both sides to the story, to where, like, I can't even say that she was totally being malicious. It just wasn't. You could see it. She felt slighted. Or it wasn't even Kai at this point, but we're again, they're two people, but they're not at the same time. So Omnia and or Kai felt slighted, you know. Kai was honestly the most biased thing. Like, he was basically Toby's friends, because he wasn't really involved in the situation, because Toby didn't give a fuck about his video. She literally cared because it was Omnia's video, because she made it. She helped Kai with the extra stuff. Hell, I don't even Kai cared about the other stuff. It was just, oh, friend, I made a video on this. Oh, well, I have more information. Oh, okay, well, let me make the video with you so you can have a little bit more support. That's all it was. It was basically Omnia's feelings, but Kai was there too. Because Kai could have said that in a follow-up video. He could have said it in his other video, but they did the stuff together because they were friends. Where are those two little things? I know they're usually on the side of the rocks. I'm not gonna find it, it's whatever. But she took more offense to that video than she ever took to Kai's. She didn't care. It was like, okay, well, somebody doesn't like me, and like, nobody even thought about the action she took up until that point. There were videos being made on her that were popular. Like, I watched them. That's how I knew. Omnia's video was the last video I watched, I think, on that situation. The rest of the videos I had been watching, because I had watched some of the people that made the video. So it literally was just like, and I don't think anybody understands this, nor is going to point this out, that it was literally, it went from Creepshow's a bad guy, when it was like, and then, well, Creepshow's a bad guy, and it's like, Creepshow's like, okay, well, you know, I can understand what you're saying. And let's be honest, her apology was boo butt cheeks. Like, I already pointed that out when she first made it. That apology was literally, I'm not apologizing for anything. I'm excusing everything I did. I'm just the way I am. Deal with it. And she just continued to be the way she was. And that's what, guess who else did that? Toby. So it went from Creepshow doing that, to Toby doing that, to Kai and Omnia doing that. So did anybody even do anything wrong? No. People just took issue with their hypocrisy and their whining, basically. And all thrice of them said, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyways. and we're just accepting it. Toby's still making her videos. She still said what she said, and she said on her videos. She still said what she said. Like we can't do nothing about it. We can't force her to apologize. We can't force her to do anything like that. It's just she said what she said, and she's gonna continue to do what she was doing. Then in the Peach situation, it kind of seems similar. Of like, well, I haven't seen her. I haven't seen her quote unquote apology or her video addressing the situation. So it's literally just history repeating itself. And you notice how all these people are involved in the exact, like Kai, or not Kai, but I don't know, I don't watch Kai's content anymore. But Omnia comes, for some reason Omnia pops up more than Kai does. But Omnia made a video. Toby, I'm sure, is not gonna make a video, but Omnia's still involved in a situation where she's really not supposed to be involved. Creepshow's involved. It's connected. Do you see what I'm talking? Like, it's connected because they're all the same person. They don't want to believe it, but they're all the same person, acting the exact same way, doing the exact same shit. It's literally a pattern, and it's like amazing to me that people just do not see that. Because, well, this one thing's different. Obviously, people aren't the same people, so things are going to be different. But to the core, it's the exact same situation repeating itself. Literally, it's literally the exact same situation repeating itself. It's my feelings. That's literally the situation. It's my feelings. It's I kill me. Kill me. I think of a fan of all of these I can't read. I'm dying. I can't read. I'm kind of a fan of all of these creators in the situation. I'm just tired of all of this, and I want them to get better. Exactly. When you point out that, because that's the thing, when you point out that someone is a hypocrite, basically, and you make it as if the hypocrisy is like it's like them being a murderer. Like, when that's the situation, because that's the fucking situation, it becomes to a damn it, whatever. Sorry, I'm focusing on this, but when it comes to that point, nope, let me go down. When it gets to that point where you're acting like hypocrisy is murder and these people have murdered someone, it just becomes a blown up situation where it's like you just want everybody to get better, but honestly, is anybody really doing bad right now? Like, sure, they're hypocrites, and well, they were mean to you once, and am I supposed to care? Or that's supposed to be like a murder charge against them? Like, I don't get it. Remember before, when it comes to drama, it was people accusing people of being pedophiles, people blatantly making accusations that could literally hurt and affect that person personally. And I want to say personally, I don't mean, again, boo-hoo, somebody was mean to me. I mean, like, Spoctor being accused of being a pedo. Someone accusing someone of actual, like, this person tried to hack my channel. This person literally set up a whole campaign against me, and not, they talked to some of our friends and said things that weren't that nice to me or not nice about me that I literally can't prove, and literally I don't see the screenshots, and literally I'm looking at accounts from other people, or not accounts, but like secondary accounts from other people, like in the sense of not like an actual account. Let me say it a different way. My evidence of them talking shit is somebody recounting it to me. Is someone saying what they said and not actual screenshots of what they said, how they said it, and how it is. It's someone telling me in a call she said this. So it's a game of telephone. It's a fucked up, bad game of telephone. When that is looked at and being pushed as significant as someone calling you a monster that tried to take money from them or scam them or has been telling them to do things that they knew were wrong and lied about it and all that type of stuff. It's like, well, not even that type of stuff, because even that's kind of just, it's more of a personal problem than that. Or they're lying straight up, and it's like, again, Creepshow already showed us that she didn't really confront her on any of this. Not a lot of it. I think that she confronted her on some of the stuff, but most of it, when I say confronting, I mean she. I have to like explain this to you guys, which is weird, and I shouldn't have to, but I'm gonna have to. When you confront somebody about something, how you properly confront somebody is that you listen to what they have to say. You take into accountability. You are taking accountability what they said, and then ask follow-up questions like, okay, you say that that's just how you felt at the moment because of this, right? Okay, why did you feel that way? Oh, so you felt that way because you watched this or somebody said this about me. Okay, well, I can understand that. But what about this and that and the third? I'm not going to lie to you. The way they end up doing this type of shit is more or less, I want you to tell me that the reason you feel this way, excuse me, the reason you feel this way is for a reason that I feel is valid. If you do not tell me the thing that I feel is valid, you don't have a reason for it. Which is not how that works. How do I explain this? Because I feel like I'm not explaining it right. Let me give you a scenario. So that's the best way I can explain most of these things. Again, let's go with my sisters, because there's 3 of us and it's easy. Let's say my sister K, she, how can I explain this? I don't want to use that example because that's an actual thing that happened. Let's say she hit our other sister, right? And I'm sitting here like, okay, you hit, let's go with G, because this is their initials. So you hit G, right? Okay, why'd you hit her? And let's say Kay tells me, I hit her because she called me a bitch. You know what I mean? She was saying all types of stuff, and she stole my man. Right? Let's go with that. It's like, okay, and I'm hating G for this. I'm like, fuck you. How dare you say that to our sister? And she has no idea what I'm talking about, by the way. She's just assuming that I hate her for no reason. And then one day I'm like, why did you do this thing to Kay? And she's like, what are you talking about? Well, she said that you did this, that, and the third to her. Why would you do that? That's not nice. Like, that's a shady thing to do. We're supposed to be sisters. We're supposed to love each other. Why would you do that? What was the reason? And then Jesus just like, I never did anything. What actually happened was, let me do that. What actually happened was, now, let's stop the situation here. What she should be telling me is what happened was, we had a conversation. I called her a bitch because she called me a slut, and she was taking it too far. She was talking about this and that and saying that I was ugly, and she was doing the most with a piece of toast, and she shouldn't have been, and it was disrespectful, and I didn't like it, so I called her a bitch. That's what happened. And it's like, okay, are you sure? How did the fight start? Like, how did exactly it start? Well, it exactly started because we were talking about eating cake, and I told her that she should really stop eating this cake, and I'm like, wait, hold on a second, because this is how the conversation should go. I'm like, hold on a second, that sounds like you're insinuating that she was fat. Now, if you said that and she called you some names after that, then I can totally understand why she would be offended by what you said, because you said this. My problem with the situation with Creepshow and Peaches is that basically, in a nutshell, Creepshow's not showing what she said at the beginning. She's not showing what she may have said to offend her. When she confronted her, she didn't ask enough. She didn't ask all the questions of like, well, why would you feel this way? Why would you turn over a different leaf on how I was talking to you? Why would you do any of this, basically? How did this start? How did your feelings against me become so negative when we were talking so positively? Explain it to me. Creepshow doesn't even know. And that's how I know she didn't ask questions. Because you don't know. When you don't know, you ask questions. And maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me. You're supposed to ask those follow-up questions because it could just end up being you said something that tipped her off, that maybe that was aggressive. Maybe because of something that she heard somebody else say. She, like, example, let's say somebody else told her, I'm not saying this happened, but let's say somebody else told Peaches that Creepshow's been talking shit about her, and then she says something that makes it seem like that's true. Like, they said that, oh, Creepshow said that you've been getting fat lately, right? And then she says, well, I don't think you should be eating that many cookies. That could solidify to her because she made the assumption that, oh yeah, okay, she's been calling me fat. Yeah, because you're calling it to, calling me fat to my face now. That would be dumb to assume, which, that's my point of me thinking Creepshow's dumb for assuming that shit. But that would be dumb to assume that. But she could say, that could be the situation. This all could have been, and this is why I always say this, and I said this in the Toby situation too, it all could be worked out in DMs. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, or like, this is just me literally saying the exact same shit over and over again, but it could be something that it isn't. And I'm sorry if I just don't believe someone on their word, and I'm sorry if that's me taking up for somebody or something like that. I just can't. I don't know the entire situation, and even if I did, this isn't that serious. Even with the situation with Kamala, I forget her name, just that quick. Even with the situation with her, I don't know the entire situation, so I can't just sit here and be like, well, yeah, she definitely did this. Peaches could have felt a certain way because of something that happened that we have no idea about. But no one cares enough to look through the DMs to say that. But they want to believe the people making the accusations. And not saying that she did nothing wrong in that situation and whatnot. Because even if it came out that, let's say that, I can't say that. Let's say it came out that she had a good reason for thinking that she scammed the girl, or the girl scammed her, or whatever it was. I forget exactly what the situation was entirely, but let's say she had a good reason for it, right? It came out that she had a pretty good reason for assuming what she assumed, or saying what she said. Even then, you don't know. She didn't know that for sure. So I would have to now chastise her for assuming something that may not be true. You know what I mean? Do you get what I'm saying? And that's kind of my point of saying all that, because it's a lot of this is built on assumptions. A lot of this is built on take my word for it. A lot of it's built on if you just believe me, then everything will be fine. And I just it's just hard for me to do certain things, I guess. I can't. I'm sorry. I also feel bad for Manga Comment. He was going through it for a few months, along with him apparently having his leg or ankle broken. Well, that sucks. I didn't even know that part. That sucks ass. The drama was basically Victim Complex the movie. Literally, it was Victim Complex the movie Electric Boogaloo. I was so irritated with the whole thing. Okay, okay. One more thing I have to say before I shut the fuck up, but I love how Kai always says that he's going to stop talking about the drama, but then goes on to make a video about the drama. Literally, and he's like, well, I have to defend that's my thing, was like, he said that and be like, well, I have to defend myself, and I'm like, if people come to the conclusion, because most of this is off of how you and Kai, or you and Omnia feel, that they feel like, no, I don't think that this was malicious, or no, I don't think that this is how this works, and that's the way they felt about it, because we're just going off of how you feel. That's nothing to defend yourself about. Other people's feelings you can't defend yourself against other people. He was really trying hard too, by the way, being like, here's the facts of the matter. I'm like, no, those are your feelings, and you can't defend yourself against other people's feelings. Even if Toby felt a certain way about it, you can't really defend yourself against other people's feelings. You can state how you feel and state what was going on in your head and why you felt that way, or why you said this, or why you did this. But you can't just be like, well, my feelings are fact and your feelings are wrong. That's not how it works. Like, you can't even show evidence to prove that. You can prove that this happened and this happened, but when it comes to the feelings and the facts, you show evidence to prove that. You can show the messages that gave you the assumption to why you feel that way, but that's not evidence, that's an assumption. That's using that information to collectively make an assumption, which are your feelings at the end of the day. Assumptions aren't facts. They're just not. And I hated that, because I'm like, that's why I just like, you need to stop making videos about this, because at this point, again, you're just defending your feelings, which you've done that like in 4 videos now. You're a broken record at this point. You don't need to do that. You don't. You can. He has the free right to do that. I'm not going to be like, he should take down his videos doing that. No, of course not. Why would I do that? Why would I ask somebody to take down their feelings? Some other people might, but I'm not going to. You know, I mean, like, and by the way, a lot of his feelings are wrong. A lot of, what was that one comment about him talking about how Harsh Opinions was white? And she wasn't white at all. Like, not even kind of, not even like pale white, not even close to that. Remember that? Well, I told him to take down his whole video because he was wrong on his assumption. Or he was wrong on his feelings. But they're not going to do that, because then I'd be an asshole, because then I'd be a terrible person. That's so terrible for me to, you know. And a lot of their assumption, a lot of things that they said were not okay, and they got to cut those out. But they didn't have to take down their whole videos. And when they were making points that actually made sense, they didn't have to do any of that, but other people did. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. I'm going on a little thing. I'm going to let it go. But I'm just saying, it's unfair. But whatever. People have, you know, they were like, that's acceptable. That's an acceptable thing to do. So it's what it is. I do think Peach's drama will fade away and she will just go back to her regular content. Yeah, but why I guess brought up that it's a pattern is because it will just be the same thing over and over again. Literally. Like, actually, like, genuinely, it's literally just the same exact thing over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, there's this one video, or not this one video, but this live stream by Cringy that just bothered the shit out of me. Example, Cringy has a problem with thinking that she's an armchair psychologist, low-key, and I kind of have a problem with it, because even though, yes, there are certain things that you can look up and that you can, you know, go on Wikipedia, or not Wikipedia, but WebMD and figure out, like, there are things that you can genuinely look up, but sometimes they tend to forget that everything, when it comes to the medical field, when it comes to mental health, all of it is under the guise that is in the right circumstances, right? Because literally the right circumstances and the right, what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Not circumstances, it's another word. Damn, I can't think of the word. But let's stay with circumstances for right now. But under the right circumstances, a mental illness can go from one to another just by variables. Tiny and what we would think insignificant variables. Just because it is a rare thing, or it's not widely known, or just because it's not published, does not mean something doesn't happen, does not mean that it's not a serious fact. It's something that she said. Just, I don't know, her whole content has been like bothering me low-key lately. I do still like her in some senses, but also her content's been kind of bothering me, because it's coming off as that I somewhat know, like, I can talk about mental health shit, but I would never be like in that community, because I would actually need to know a bit more than just I read this article that confirms what I've been thinking for a while now. Because even when she reads the article and it's literally like, yeah, that can happen and that's happened in some patients, but I don't think that's the case. Well, how do you know it's the case? I don't. But I don't think it's the case. And it's like, then you're just then why'd you even look it up? Because you're just blatantly ignoring it at this point. At this point, you're just blatantly ignoring that it could be a thing because you don't think it's a thing. And at that point, it's like, well, at that point, I would just be like, well, it could be this. It also could be this, and that would have been the end of it. And that's where, and again, that's where you're mixing your opinion with fact. Well, I don't think it's this because of the situation behind this and why because I don't like this. I went into this wanting to prove this person wrong. And I actually got proven wrong because this can actually be a thing. But because of my feelings that I already have that are pretty biased on the situation, I'm going to assume that it's this. Because I think that, no, I don't think that she's genuine, or I don't think she's going through something, or I don't think this, I don't think that, I don't think this, I don't think that. And I'm just like, I don't care what you think. If you're going to show that, if you're going to sit here and whip out facts on me, I don't care. I don't care. If you're going to whip out an article or a study on me, and it shows that that could possibly happen, and you don't know this person personally, then all you're doing is assuming. And not saying that not saying that you can't assume in videos, that you can't make an assumption, you can't do anything like that. But the way she says it, that's so matter of fact, and the way how aggressive she sometimes is. And I know this went from a totally different. I'm ranting about YouTubers in period, but and she's not even in the art commentary community. I just like her content. But just the assumptions, how aggressive she gets when people point that out to her that it could be this, how aggressive she gets because like, well, I don't think it's this, and possibly it could be this, but basically I don't think that way, so it's just what it is. And then how aggressive her fans are against that person who's just like, hey, it could be this though. It's toxic just a little bit. Because sure, you can have your opinions about something, and sure, you can, and why I'm referencing this, by the way, is because she said something about what Peaches was saying and how aha, that's going down a bad road. I'm sorry, again, when I hear myself thinking about something that's gonna be like really not okay for me to say because it's gonna come off really bad, I'm trying to stop myself from doing it. So I'm just gonna say that the assumptions she made about Peach's mental health aren't the best, because a lot of it was, it's your assumption and your feelings mixed with facts. Because you have to assume something off the bat to be able to then go and find the proof for it. Trust me when I, or let me not say trust me. Trust me when I say I have something that I was gonna say that is not appropriate, that is not okay, and that's kind of mean. So I'm just not going to say it, and I'm not going to point it out, and I'm going to let it be what it is. But I felt like it was just too much. And people do that a lot, where they just, you know what I mean? Like, I have to assume that you're lying to me in the first place, or that you maliciously lied to me to then try to find other people that you lied to then try to make it malicious. Like, you get what I'm saying, where I'm like mixing, like, yeah, you probably were kind of mean to this person, but does that mean it was malicious or it was on purpose? No. It could mean several different things. It could mean that you were just, you came off that way, that it came off that you were, an asshole. It could well be something very harmless, but because I already have that preconceived notion that I made because of an assumption that I had already, it now is mixed into the facts to where you don't even know if you are actually, like, for real being aggressive toward that person or an asshole, or if it's just, if it's just me, oh, it went up there, or if it's just me feeling a certain way and trying to find the information to prove myself right. You get what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I feel like I'm not making sense, but hopefully you guys got what I'm saying. So I just, that type of stuff just happens so often that it's just tiring. My mouth hurts from talking about it. It's just a tiring situation, and I'm sure everything goes back to normal, but again, it's a pattern and it's saying a precedent that will happen and keep happening and happening and happening to the point where if it's a drama involving these people, I won't care to talk about it or hear about it or, you know, uh, make conversation about it, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I just won't care. Even if it's something that, you know, is proving them to be, you know, not as guilty, or I'm not going to want to even cover it or talk about it because it's so toxic. And people just don't use common sense. And because people are trusting people, they're just waiting for the person, instead of making up their own mind and showing that there are actual things that can be approved on or anything like that. It's just people waiting for somebody to tell them how to feel. And any person that contradicts that or is like, hey, there's also this evidence that says otherwise. We're attacking you. What? It's like, okay, I'll just shut up now. You know? Or even if it's just like, hey, I have more questions. Are you questioning them? Oh, so you're victim blaming. I like this community because it used to be based on taking in consideration facts and logic, and then basing your opinion off of that and making it very clear. But now it's just, no, if my opinion can be proven by screenshots that might be out of context, that screenshots that could be a misunderstanding, if it can basically, if I can prove what I assumed in the beginning is real by just something that can be suggestive at best, then you can believe it. Then you should believe it. You should believe something that isn't even concrete, that isn't even kind of, that is literally suggestive. You should believe it. And if you do not believe it, then you're against me. And if you're against me, then we're gonna fuck you up. You know, it's different when when fans come to somebody's defense, but when it's like the whole community turns on you because of things someone can barely prove, it's like, okay, so you're not even giving that person the benefit of the doubt. You're straight up being like, I trust this person, so I'm gonna believe what they say without question. That's never backfired in people's face before. Never. And it probably won't. Let me 100 honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm saying all this, but it probably won't change. It'll probably get worse, and that's why the name of this live stream is the art community, the art commentary community specifically, is so fucked right now. Because that's what they do constantly. And the people that I've been watching for years and really looked up to, it's just like slowly I'm seeing them just evolve into this mess, honestly. And you know, I don't want to be like the people on Twitter, I'm so disappointed. I'm really disappointed because I'm just like, what happened to all that, you know, facts? Not, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna look at the facts or presenting the facts as if they, you know, as they are, without mixing our feelings into the shit that we were doing before. I don't understand. Like, I followed people because I wanted to know the facts of the matter. Now I literally need to look up situations by myself because I know for a fact I'm not going to get the facts out of this from anybody covering it. I'm going to get their facts mixed in with the feelings. Like, this person, like, it's literally just people believing people's word for it, and I'm not okay with it, you know? It's just, I'm tired. My fucking mouth hurts. This drama reminds me of when they were fighting, and they were fighting at the end of the end, they just left each other alone, and I think the same would happen here. It does. I mean, I would hope that it would be that way, because honestly, if that happened, that'd be great. But let's be honest, people are going to basically, again, with this not really concrete proof, people are going to harass her. They're going to question everything she says. They're going to make up shit. Let's be honest, people already started making up shit. People are going to just make every situation with her into her being a terrible person again. And the best she can do is ask for forgiveness and start kissing people's ass. Like straight up, and I genuinely mean that. Straight up, just start kissing people's ass. You have to agree with every person that's saying that you're wrong right now. In every situation. Doesn't matter if you see something different. If you do not agree with them, then they'll just be like, well, you're right back on your bullshit. And it's like, no, it's just a different situation. Nope, well, you were wrong that one time, so see, she didn't change at all. She's contradicting me. She's not listening to me. She's right back on her bullshit, and it's like, all right, cool. And that's kind of what this is. I remember the days when people just left each other alone, and that was the end of it. And that was just like, okay, you're an asshole. This person's an asshole to me, and then we never talk about it again. But this is not clout chasing in any way, shape, or form, by the way. Could the situation be solved by literally nothing happening? No. Could Prison Luke get both people's account on the situation? No. Just the irony of her saying that she believed Hopeless Peaches without any shadow of a doubt, and just believed her word for it, and then found out later, and quote unquote allegedly found out later, that she was full of shit. And Prison Luke literally believing her, Prison Luke and everybody believing her word for it and not questioning shit. But then literally on her community tab, she had to admit, like, hey, this might not be what it is. I hate life. I just don't understand life. Anyways, there also was something. Well, yeah. Well, how long have I been streaming for? Oh, I've been streaming for like 2 hours and 30 minutes. No wonder those kids are screaming outside. Sorry if you hear that, by the way. That's my niece and nephew. They're kids. That's what it is. Um. Other than that, sorry, it's distracting me now. Other than that, I was just gonna talk. I was gonna talk about for the last maybe 30 minutes. I thought it was gonna be like an hour tops. I was gonna talk about this show I've been watching. It's called, I forget. I forgot the name because it's so. It's so. It's bad. And I was gonna talk about how much of a I'm having a stroke. How much trouble I'm having making the video about it, because I want to summarize it so it's entertaining for you guys, because I know you guys like my little rants on shows, especially when they're like similar to my Steven Universe one. And I want to make the same thing, but I have a weird thing, especially with what I just talked about. I have a weird thing with not showing context. And so I keep trying to like the video ends up being like an hour long, and I'm only talking about the one episode because I want to talk about the full context of what's going on, so you understand the show and you understand why I don't like it. And so if you have any questions, or if you feel that I didn't give enough information or anything like that, then you could be like, okay, well, I know what, at least I know genuinely what happens. But because this show isn't really worth watching. It was kind of boring, and I tried to get my boyfriend to watch it with me, and even he was just like, bruh, I don't want to watch the rest. He watched one episode, was like, I don't really want to watch anymore. I don't want to do it. Like, can we just not and say we did? It was funny as shit. Oh, turned on my music really loud, blasted in my ear. That hurts. 2 hours late, but oh well. I'm still here. Yeah, I agree about the Peaches drama. There's so much else she can. There's not much else she can do. Yeah, we had a whole conversation about it, but in turn, the conversation was basically that uh, barely anybody was showing proof in their videos that Peaches actually did much of anything, and when they did show proof that she did something, I'm like, okay, that was like one. Let's say there was three things tops, right? And a lot of this was I have summarized it to be when this person hurt my feelings when, because it's when this person hurt my feelings and yeah, like they're real mean to me, and like being adults making full ass videos about someone being mean to you is just something that maybe I'm just the only one that looks at it as like stupid. Especially when it's just like this person was talking about how I was mean to them or this, that, and the third, and I'm like, okay, well, were you? And it's like, no, I wasn't. Like, how do you know? Did you talk to them about it? And it's like, did you? Did you talk to them about it? And again, when it comes to talking to them about it, quote unquote, there still is the whole thing with when you're talking to someone about something like that, that's not even going to mean that they're going to tell you the truth. Why would they tell you the truth? You're a big you're a big creator, you have a reputation of blowing up on people or getting extra or blowing people's spot up when they don't agree with you. You have that tendency, like that's a whole critique people had of her at the time, or even just period. So when that's the case, why would someone that's as anxiety ridden as Peaches, hell, why would you had to go to Prison Luke about this shit. You didn't even make the initial video. But why would someone with high anxiety then go tell you, yeah, you're a fucking asshole? If they thought you were an asshole in the first place, they're not gonna then, you know what I mean? They're not gonna come to you and be like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you that you're an asshole. Like it's not even realistic. Like, you know what I mean? And again, for people to be scared, for her to be scared of what's her name? For her to be scared of Creepshow Art and other people to be scared of Creepshow Art, I'm like, yeah, I could totally see that. Her being terrified of you. I wonder why. I wonder why when you're making you're making accusations off of your memory and saying with your whole chest that you don't even have proof for a lot of them. And not, when I say a lot, I mean obviously she tells you the one that she doesn't have proof for because they were so long ago in DMs. You're saying you don't have proof for them with your whole chest, and people are still believing you and making whole low-key beware posts about her. Like, I wonder why she would be frightened of you. It's crazy to think that. Like, it's insane. It's insane balls. Like, she just, at this point, all she should be doing is apologizing because they're not going to believe her. And if she wants to stay with these toxic ass people, she can. These non-believing facts ass people. I don't care about the evidence and about seeing it. I just care that I'm in the right person's corner. If you want to be with these toxic ass people, that's your choice. I personally, in this situation, first of all, I would never be in this situation, but let's say I was, and someone took, or I lied, or whatever the accusations are in their entirety. If that was a situation, in my personal opinion, I'd say I said what I said in a tweet. Like, my response to the situation, I said what I said. Nobody cares about the facts. I said what I said. And I would never talk to any of these people again. You would never hear from me in that even circle of people. And not because they disagree with me, not because of any of that, because they didn't even take time to see my side of it or even care. Because of her reputation, people blatantly didn't ask. And I'm just like, who are you? Because I thought I had people who cared about me, or at least people who even if you saw my side and you're like, okay, I can see where you went wrong or why saying this right here, why that's something that she would feel a certain way about. Didn't even care to do that. Don't care about Not one bit. I would never talk to these people again. I'd be never who? Peaches who? My name is Peach. I knew you where? What DMs? We never talked before in my life. Like with the DMs up, like I never talked to you before in my life. Who are you? I'm sorry, who? I don't know people like that. You guys seem really toxic. I don't know you. Even again, it'd be different if they saw the situation and then called her out like, hey, I see the DMs that she's talking about, which they can't do that because they're deleted apparently. But I see these DMs or I see this. I've seen the evidence. I understand why Creepshow felt this way about you. Let me explain it to you so you understand. That's different. That's a whole other thing. See how they don't agree with her, but they saw the entire situation, not just believing a person off of bullshit or off of it's my word. I can understand that. Totally understand that and totally agree with that. But when it's just like, yeah, Creepshow's really big right now, so like, sorry, friend. Or sorry, person I really liked. I'm so disappointing in you because Creepshow's really big right now, and like, I'm not really gonna go against her right now because I'm gonna believe what she says off of pure ignorance alone. And it's like, so, and let's be honest, it's a safe thing to do because if it comes out that these are wrong or something's wrong about them, which again it did, or at least not entirely, but like some of it wasn't entirely what it was, or if somebody finally sees the DMs and understands what happened, or if any of that happens, you can just plead ignorance. Well, I just was believing what Creepshow said, and darn, I can't believe. I'm sorry, Peaches, that I did that. And again, that's under the assumption that Peaches is somewhat right about this, or not somewhat right, but somewhat believable in this situation, which I don't believe any of them as far as I can throw them because I don't know Peaches personally, and I don't even watch her content to even try to gauge maybe her character, and I wouldn't use that as an excuse anyways, but um I don't know her. I know Creepshow and them because I've watched them and watched their content for a very long time, but not a very long time, but a pretty long time. But I can't trust either of them. Like they're all kind of untrustworthy. So it's just kind of like a toss up of, I guess, or for me and other people would be a toss up of basically who people believe. Not even who's right, who people believe. Oh, people believe Creepshow. Okay, well, it. The other thing that's hilarious to me is that people, again, it's crazy how people would be scared of Creepshow, but people came out with stuff about Hopeless Peaches as soon as Creepshow came out with her stuff. It was like all of a sudden everybody had these stories on her that she's such a terrible person, and it's like this is again an example of how your feelings can twist, or your feelings or other people's feelings can twist how you actually perceive a situation. It obviously wasn't a problem before. It obviously wasn't a problem before. Hell, even Peaches admitted that her and Toby had beef like that. You know what I mean? That's understandable. She admitted that they had beef. You know what I mean? Or they had a problem a problem with each other at one point. But all the rest of you bitches didn't say not one thing. Even Omnia didn't say anything about how Peaches quote unquote treated her until this situation. All of a sudden Peaches is a monster and she did all these terrible things to you that weren't related to the like what that like even I because I watched majority of the videos that Omnia and Kai, I guess I don't know if I should count them together anymore, but Omnia and Kai made, and most of the time the only thing about Peaches was that she changed her mind, and then that she was being, and then again she was so awful to me and this that and the third. I'm just like, no, she just changed her mind on the situation, and you didn't like that she changed her mind because you felt like you were in the right, and maybe she did. Like it's again, you can't then be like, well, she's just this terrible person, see, because of all the stuff she did to other people, and we really can't actually even prove. But like, see, she is a terrible person. It's like, no, no, that's not how that works. It's not like blatantly. That's just not how that works. You can't just be like, well, she's a terrible person because she did stuff to other people that I can't prove, and she did this one thing to me that actually isn't that bad, which is not that bad. But all Peaches did, literally all Peaches did was tweet about the situation that that she quote unquote wasn't involved in, because nobody's done that. That's not a thing that. It's not a thing that people did about the Toby situation, or people didn't talk about. But I guess it's significant because she's a bigger creator. But then again, going back to that, bigger creators never do that. I've never seen that. I never saw Spockter. Spockter totally didn't make that video. He was not involved. They were his friends, but he was not involved. So no creator has ever done that, and that's just not a sin. But no, wait, no. I'm sorry, I forgot. Spockter can do that because he was with Kai and Omnia. It was majority positive, and Kai and Omnia look like victims. I know for a fact he didn't mean it for that to be that way, but that's what it looked like. And they use that as if that's what they use it as. They're gonna use that video as if that's what it is. So apparently it's okay, but it's not okay when Peaches does it. That's a genuine criticism someone has of her, and nobody's. I love when people just pull shit out of their ass when they want to hate somebody. And don't get me wrong, again, there are genuine criticisms of her. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. None of them equate to the amount of hate this girl is getting. Even if she was a shitty person, right? Even if let's go with the hypothetical that everything people are saying is right, even though some of it's already been proven wrong, or not proven wrong, but proven to be a little bit iffy at best, right? Let's say everything that she did happened, right? And as children, because I know a lot of you guys are children, as children, you're gonna see that as significant. These people are not kids. Spockter might be a freshly, bloomed adult, but these people aren't kids. A lot of them are in their 20s, going into their 20s. They've had a few years on this earth as a adult. Why should I care that another adult is being mean to another adult? Why should I not trust an adult being mean to another adult? Because they're gossipy, they talk too much, things like that. In the regular commentary community, this type of behavior is just looked at as you're a fucking idiot, and that's about it. People will first of all, because example, let's say you share with Prison Luke, right? He would then share with his friends, and then it would be like a consensus in the circle that, oh, this person's an asshole, right? That would spread at one point, and then everybody would be like, okay, she's kind of not trustworthy because of these reasons, so we all don't really trust her, we all don't care about her. There really wouldn't be a video made, it would just kind of be a general consensus. You know what I mean? There might be like a Twitter post made at one point or something like that, but it would have to be something significant for there to be, for the adults in the situation to have a whole video made. And maybe I'm just watching specific people. Well, no, because I can't even say that that a video wouldn't be made, because I've seen that. Ooh, I just forgot about that situation too. I totally forgot about that situation. That happened actually. That was really dumb. I forgot about that situation. God, I want to see the updated version of that. I'm not gonna tell you what the situation was because it was I'll go into a whole other rant. So I'm not gonna tell you what the situation was exactly. But yeah, there was actually a little situation with that now I think about it. In the regular commentary community. I remember that. God, that was dumb. Because everybody started making videos about that person, and then it ended up going nowhere because it was just like, okay, it was again a situation of okay and, like it was like okay and, because then that same person basically started talking about how everybody else literally has done the same thing and that it's literally pot meat kettle. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh yeah, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right. We don't like you. We're still not gonna like you for it, but you're right. And that's kind of how I feel about this situation of like, no, pot meat kettle. Like literally, you're mad that everybody in the commentary community is a bad, or that Peaches specifically is a bad person, and that she's done this, that, and the third, and that she's untrustworthy. And it's like looking at everybody in the situation, I'm like, pot meet the kettle. How many dramas have you been in? How many times have you lied? Didn't you last week get into a drama where you fucked up? Like, why are you talking as if nobody has done this and she's the most untrustworthy person in the world? Half of y'all have been through this and literally just got out of a drama like this, or just the drama just simmered down to where everybody's forgotten about it. It's like, well, I've changed, and it's like, okay, have you? What constitutes change? That's another question. What constitutes change? What constitutes her getting better? Oop, fuck, I died. I gotta run. I forget what I need to beat those. I know there's something I can do that kills them fairly quickly, but I forget what it is. Oh no, they're just a way higher level than me. Never mind. Never mind, I can't do it because they're just way higher level than me. No, but what constitutes change anymore? Because again, if someone changes but they get into another controversy that people disagree with, then they didn't change. And I'm so serious about that. And you guys know exactly what, like, hopefully you know exactly what I'm talking about. That constitutes not changing. Like, it's not, nobody wants change, nobody cares that people get better. It's straight up, you're not licking my ass. I need you to lick my ass, and if you don't lick my ass and apologize and continuously lick my ass, no matter how wrong I am, no matter how many contradictions you see coming from my mouth, if you don't lick the fattest part of my ass, I'm gonna continue to basically make you out to be a monster. There are pedophiles in this community. Did you know that? There are people that genuinely make art that's just disgusting. There are people who have literally scammed people. There are people who make not even gonna talk about that. There are people like Milk. There are people who have just done things that are just morally wrong. And most people would agree. And you know what I'm not going to talk about? Them. You know what we are going to talk about? This dumbass shit. This is going to be our main focus, people. Because, of course it is. Yeah, actually, though. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the thing. Oh, honestly, I want all of them to... Oh, wait. I read the first one. Thank you for giving a different side of the situation. I never really thought of it in the way. Honestly, I just want them all to chill and leave each other alone. Exactly. I want that too. I really do. I'm tired of it. And it's like, I you know when you don't want to stop watching somebody because, like, I like these creators. Even Omni and Kai, I hate on them a lot, but I do actually genuinely like their content in some cases. Some cases, their content's sloppy. But I do actually want to watch them. But then I see stuff like this and I'm like, God, I can't watch any of you. I just want to watch your content, and you make good content. But when you're literally talking about a situation, and at this point, low-key, it's harassment in some case, not in these specific people's cases, but in harassing people because of they were mean. It's funny to make. Let me say it like this: it's funny to make jokes. It's funny to pick fun that's different. But when you're straight up like acting like this girl has to respond and has to make an apology, she doesn't have to do not jack shit. Like she genuinely doesn't. Like it, like at all. But when you are literally pressuring this girl to a point where it's like it's low key ridiculous, I gotta I at one point as somebody who watches you, I have to put my foot down and be like, nah, I can't support that. You know, again, I can support you picking fun. I can support you making the video and saying what you have to say, but some of y'all take it too far. Some of y'all be making blatantly false accusations. Some of y'all be wanting me to take your word for it, and I can't do that. And I just can't. You know, and not when it's not when not when it feels like something just don't something's not clean in the buttermilk. You know, something's not right about it. I just I can't, you know. I need to go here. Yeah, I need where's my thing? There's not a marker for this? Wait, fuck, I took it away. I need that. Okay. Oh, I just need to go up here. Oh, I'm dumb. I thought I had to go farther away. I didn't look at the side and see it. I didn't need to go that far. No, but like something just irks me about this entire situation. How people have been treating situations like this. How people have been blowing this type of shit up to a ridiculous point. Something about it. It just makes me feel a certain type of way. Again, it's like me with the Steven Universe video I made. I just don't like Steven Universe. It's just what it is. Like I didn't think it'd be a whole hullabaloo because of it. You know, I didn't think that it would get to the point where people are like dead ass DMing me. You know, like having full on arguments with me about it. Like it's that serious. I thought, oh, it's funny. I can pick fun at it later. It's just my feelings. It's what it is. But it's like if I took that way more seriously than it is. You know what I mean? I don't like the show, but like it's as if I was like petitioning for Rebecca Sugar's removal from the show because I thought she was a twat. Like, you know what I mean? Like it'd be too much. It'd be too much. I'm gonna fail this. I'm gonna be so upset. I'm gonna fail it. I'm so close. So close, so close, so close. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No, come on. Fuck. I was so close. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. It's all. This is what this whole thing is about. I'm sorry. Uh. Sorry. Yeah. Actually, though, Peaches was pretty bad on Alvin, and he made a response a while ago that just got popular recently. Yeah. Again, not saying that she didn't do anything wrong in the situation. She did. It's just like the reaction to it is just. And again, I would say that yeah, I could trust that, but honestly, unless he has proof to back that up, because I haven't seen his video particularly, unless he has proof to back that up, I can't. I don't trust it. I can't trust it. You know. And I hate to say that, but I can't. I'm probably not going to, because people blow up stuff all the time. Again, people have been blowing shit up and making it more than it is, and cropping screenshots and not showing the full context of the situation and acting like one person is just this monster that I hate when people do that. Act like they unprompted just was an asshole all of a sudden. And it's like that's not People don't just do that. I don't know if people think that this. I don't know. People don't act like the internet has real people on it anymore. It's not a show, not a TV show. It's not a game. People just don't act like an asshole to you all of a sudden. Usually, there's something that makes them feel like either you're an asshole or, and not saying that's right or anything, but usually there's a reasoning for it. And so sometimes people just make it so it's like, no, she was just an asshole to me out of nowhere. I just have no idea why she would be so mean to me. And then it comes out, months or even sometimes years later that, oh, no, they actually looking into the situation and seeing both sides. Oh no, they actually called them a cunt earlier because of that, and they had a whole argument and they kind of disrespected them, and that person just didn't like them ever since. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Not saying that's what happened because I don't know what happened, but I tend not to trust shit anymore. That's kind of my whole point of this, is that I just don't trust nothing no more. Because people just lie. Like, just lie. Or just like, even if they don't like blatantly lie, they just want to be oppressed. No, let me not say that. They want to be a victim so bad that at this point, everything anybody does comes off malicious. You know what I mean? And not because of what they did. It comes off malicious because nowadays people want to be a victim so bad. You know what I mean? Like, people want to be, and that goes for Peaches too. People want to be looked at as this great person when it's like, no, you're all kind of assholes. It's like people who say, that sounds bad, people who say Nani is a good person. I'm like, do you guys not watch her like I watch her? And it's no shade, but she's not a good person. She's actually been quite a bitch on several occasions and been really petty and said things that are kind of bitchy. Does that mean that she's just this terrible person that has ever lived? No, she's a regular person that's kind of bitchy. She's not a saint from heaven, has never made a mistake or said anything rude in her life like you believe she has. She's just regular. I don't know. It's, I'll bring 3. I have mushrooms, don't I? Yeah. Where's the X? But yeah, it's just mad weird. You know what I mean? Looking at the situation, because I'm just like, I just, everybody has something to do wrong, and at one point, your actions become like, okay, you're just stupid, or you're just this. But most of the time, to be honest, especially with the art commentary community specifically, it is just a clusterfuck of, this person never meant it to be this way, but this is how it came off. Even in the Sonic 93 situation, I'm using situations that you guys know from my content personally. By the way, that's why I'm using so many examples that seem really irrelevant. Even in the Sonic 93 situation, I even realized at the end, like, people were just not understanding that that's just how she felt, and that, you weren't really going to change how she felt about Silver and her weird obsession. And a lot of it wasn't even that she was trying to be malicious or evil with what she was saying. She was just coming from a perspective of, like, I like this character and I don't necessarily enjoy the fact, excuse me, I didn't necessarily enjoy the fact that people are shitting on this character. It's like how people get mad at me for, again, how people got mad at me for my Steven Universe video, because they like Steven, and even though he has several problems, and they let a 16-year-old drive away into the distance at the end of the show, people are like, but I like this character, so I'm going to defend it, even if what you said was right. It's like, okay, a lot of the answers to my thing was okay, and I'm like, yeah, you're right, okay, and that's kind of why I don't understand why you're messaging me. Because it's like, okay, well, I mean, I feel that way, and, like, it's not gonna affect your life. You can still enjoy the show. Why did you? I don't understand. You know? Is that, I'm making sense right now? Hopefully I am. It's just what it is, and then I think in these And this scenario that I've been talking about this entire time, it's uh not the scenario about Song 93, but the scenario about Peaches. It's just a thing of people are people, and people act like people do, and for people to put her on this high of a pedestal like she's the best person. It's the same thing with Nani. Putting her on the highest pedestal is she's the best person in the world, and that she's somebody that's trustworthy. It's like she can make a mistake. She can fuck up. She can make a video that's uninformed. This is by the way, the Toby situation was not the first time she's done that. People just are toxic in that situation, so that's what they thought. But she's made videos like that before. That's why I didn't feel any way about her video. She didn't care about the topic like most people don't. She was never involved. She didn't care. Why would she? Like, her whole thing was just saying how she felt about the base information that she had, and she made that very clear. And then she was going to do the exact same thing, but probably more in depth because she knows Toby personally, or she knew Toby at least, or she talked to her. So it's like she can make a mistake, or she can not be this holy pillar of greatness that everybody assumes that she is because of because of preconceived notions and assumptions, because she has a soft toned voice, because she's really nice to people, because she likes to give people the benefit of the doubt more often than not. Because of all of these things, we just assume she's the best person in the world. I'm not saying that she's not. She seems like a really great person, but we assume that she's the best person in the world and that she is a good person to talk to. Hell, even the Sign 93 thing, we all were under the assumption, or most of us anyway, it was half and half, but we all kind of were like, you're being a little bit too nice to her. Like, we're trying to get her to understand that she had some faults to do with, some fault in this because of the way she was acting and who she was talking to and how she was talking to them and what she said and how it was kind of disrespectful, or it wasn't the best thing she could have said, or it could have came off very bad. Excuse me. And you're not helping. You're putting her more in her delusion. And again, she did that and she didn't believe us, and then when it happened, she was like, well, I wasn't like tricked or anything. When that happened, I wasn't tricked. I wasn't. I just believed her because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, I know. I get it, sis, because that's what you always do, but that doesn't mean that you're right right on doing that, or that you should do that. Sometimes people just need a little kick in the butt. It'd be different if she made a video after the fact, giving her the benefit of the doubt. But right now, sometimes you just need a little bit of a thing. Sometimes people just need a reality check that they didn't do all that they should have done, and they were kind of irresponsible in the way that they did it. You know what I mean? Honestly, that's kind of how Harsh Opinions video came out. Of like, sure, you weren't entirely wrong in the situation, but there were several scenarios in the situation where you did not do the right thing, and let me explain to you what it was. It wasn't entirely great, I'll give you that, but it wasn't this terrible thing that was a tragedy, as people want to believe it is. I'm having a stroke right now because I'm trying to figure out why my computer is doing what it's doing right now. You can't see it. It's it's blinking kind of. I don't know what the fuck is happening. It's weird. I don't know why. I'm just not gonna. No. Okay. Let's see. Anyways, I think that's all I really wanted to talk about. Oh, but god damn, it's in 3 hours. Y'all need to stop me when I talk, you know that? I can't be talking for 3 hours. No wonder my mouth genuinely hurts from talking. I don't talk this much in real life, so it's actually, my mouth really hurts. Y'all need to stop me from talking. I talk too much. But yeah, I think that's all I can really comment on when it comes to the situation. It was really dumb. It really didn't need to happen, and it just ended up being a. I mean, well, the situation pretty much is just, again, she's mean to me way. So I just don't care for it, and I just needed to rant about this and about the lack of common sense and uh ignorance, and I wouldn't call it, no, it's blatant hypocrisy and bullshit from the community that I just don't get. Like, we all know we need to be taking shit not at face value, but using proof and logic to enhance our arguments. But it's like, the fact that people are blatantly not doing this and believing someone at take my word for it, it's I'm shocked and kind of angry and disappointed. And I don't care about, again, I don't care about either Peaches nor Creep Show, so they can both go to hell for all I care. I don't care. But I don't know, something about the situation just is bothering me. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys have feelings about it. Even if you disagree with me and you're just like, Peaches is a scumbag, I mean, that's good for you. You know, she might, or she may well could be. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to say that, but she could be. She could totally be like a scumbag, and I could be wrong about all of this, but I yet to be proven that she's more than just like a shitty person. Well, me not use scumbag because that makes it sound a bit hard to understand. She she could be an asshole, you know, and from what little thing I've seen of what she's done, quote unquote, to people, she kind of seems that way. But this claim, or not claim, but these beware posts, these people acting as if she's like a monster and that she's just so terrible and she's just the worst person and no one should believe her because she obviously, you know, is not someone to believe. That part is where I'm like, okay, we'll prove it. Because, again, half the shit you guys are claiming she did, y'all have done. Creepshow's literally done it. It's literally what most of the videos about her about. Of her doing that same exact shit. And trust me when I say, her apology was bullshit, and she never really stopped doing that. Over exaggerating the situation, making claims she can't prove, making assumptions and claims she can't prove. She does that still. She does that still. I still watch her videos from time to time. She still does that because I do my research independently from her because I don't trust her. So it's a same shit can go back on them. But I'm talking to a board at this point. Yeah, I've noticed that there were panels between Toby. There are parallels between Toby's drama, the Song 93 drama. It's pretty dumb. Yeah, we had a whole, again, I don't know if you were there, but we had a whole discussion about how literally this is all just history repeating itself because people made videos about Creepshow art, or Toby made a video about Creepshow art. People made a video about Toby. People made videos about Kai Namnia. It just ends up, or it just turns out that in Kai Namnia's sense that they had blackness on their, may not be that. I'm not going to say that. Let me not say what I was about to say. You heard it a little bit. I'm just gonna. I didn't say that. That never happened. I'm going to ignore me saying that because I didn't want to say that. They had people on their side that don't care about facts, just care about who's more wrong. Which I can murder somebody, but this person murdered and raped somebody, so you know they're more wrong. So who cares that I murdered anybody? Pretty much. But it's what it is. It's literally just history repeating itself. And Peaches is going through the exact same thing where you did do something wrong. You just also are being hit with claims that have no proof, but no one cares because this whole year is just, I need to find somebody to target so I can be the victim. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't get it. Again, that's not saying I like Peaches, it's just, I don't really care for her either, but I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna support allegations that literally can't be proven and have been blatantly stated that they couldn't be proven by the user, or by the person making the claim. I'm not gonna support that. I can't. Something in my body is telling me not to. Sometimes I can understand it. Sometimes I can understand where you came to that conclusion. But when a whole chunk of your video is believe my word for it, it's hard. I can't. Not this year. Not with all the shit going on. Not with me being stressed out and wondering how I'm going to pay my bills and eat food. Period. I can't. I can't as an adult. Full on with my chest. I support that entirely. You can prove it. Cool. I might even still doubt you on that, by the way. But if you can prove it, at least that's something. But when you can't even... I just can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Maybe if I look into this drama more, I'll see more fault on Peach's side. That's very much a... That's very much a possibility. But... still... I don't care that adults were being mean to other adults. The fact that adults have been using, even in a Toby drama, using the word bullying, I'm like, you're an adult, you can literally never talk to these people again. Literally never talk to these people again, and the whole situation would stop. Literally. If Toby and Akai and Omnia said nothing to each other and were just like, I don't like this I don't like Toby anymore. I said what I said. You guys watched my hour-long video that literally told you all of my feelings on the topic. I don't care if people make videos. I'm going to stop talking about it. If these grown-ass adults would have done that, guess what wouldn't be being talked about at all, period. For several months. Toby drama. It would have been over. People would have literally just believed what they believed, like how they do now, and it would have been the end of it. Because at one point you're going to realize, why am I caring about these adult people and who said what to who? Why do I care? It's like, well, Toby's a bad person, and if I still watch her, is my, like, what's going to happen? People still watch iDubbbz after the shit that he pulled. He's been fucking up for a while now. People still watch Keemstar after all he's done, and people don't care because it's like, okay, and I still watch Keemstar, and not to a exhausting point, because sometimes he talks about stuff or he gives information that nobody else has. Are you gonna sue me for it? Like, what do you mean? I don't enjoy his content in any way, shape, or form, by the way, and I only watch him when I want to watch a situation that I want to, hear about, that he has information about. But it doesn't matter, because he's an adult. He's an adult male. All the consequences to his actions will go directly to him. I don't, like, they're adults. So when I hear, this person was mean to me, where? You're 19 and... It's like, well, they were mean. But can you block them, though? But I shouldn't have to do that. Why? That's what it's for. If you don't want to talk to somebody, if somebody is that shitty to you, make your video and block them, and you're done. You said your piece. You said what you said. You came with all the evidence. You need to come with all the evidence if you're going to make claims. You came with all the evidence. It should be done. Why are we still talking about this? Why do you have to, quote unquote, why do you have to do all that? You're an adult. Act like it. Be done with it. You're worried people worry really this much about some girl who does not matter. People say it as if people go to, people say it as if people that aren't 4, let me not be like that, but people that aren't kids go to Peaches as if she is the end-all be-all. If people genuinely go to this girl who never even... If people genuinely go to Peaches to be that like she's the end all be all of any situation. Is that really something on her or them? She barely talks about situations as it is. She's just another commentator. She's not big. The only reason she got the reputation she did is because of the same people that are talking shit now. That's the only reason she has the reputation she does. That's it. So if you come out with a video saying this and you show actual proof, that's important. You show actual proof of your claims and you block her and that's the end of it. It's over. There you go. You just handle the situation as an adult of you. And by the way, no, I don't really actually. When her main source of content is just commentary on a situation, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't have. How can I explain this? Because I want to say this wrong. I wouldn't have made the video personally. Because I'm just like, I would have just been like, in this situation that I can prove. It's important. I have to keep saying that. In this situation, I can prove she did this. She lied. She did this. I can prove it. It's right here. Not assumptions. Not based on the stuff I can give you. You can see where I'm leading to. No. Here's the proof. Here's the cold hard facts. This is a thing. This is what she said. I can prove it. She was wrong in that situation. I don't like her for that situation and other stuff that I can talk about that I feel that she did to me that I can't talk about because I have no actual proof of it, and it's just be me making assumptions. That's how I feel. Whatever. Again, video gone, or not video gone, video out. She's blocked. I'm an adult. I'm moving on with my life. I get why Shannon even shared this information because she's having actual issues that actually affect her life, like the doxing and whatnot and the harassment. I understand that. I understand why she gave this to Britton Luke. I don't understand why she let him make that video. Like that was a really dumb thing. It'd be different if, again, when it came to the Kamala stuff or stuff that she can prove with DMs, because apparently, which those there's a whole other problem with those, but I'm not gonna talk. That she can prove with DMs and talking to the girl. I keep calling her Kamala. I feel like that's not her name. It starts with a C though. I think I'm thinking of Kamala Harris. I think that's what I'm thinking of right now. But when it can be proven by somebody else's statement or actual DMs, that's fine. I've been talking 3 hours about the same thing over and over again. I repeat myself a lot. Y'all need to stop me. My neck hurts. Wait, one more thing I've noticed to check on Toby's YouTube channel just for the hell of it, and I've noticed that her channel was gone. I'm pretty disappointed about how Toby went about this drama. I genuinely, though she had potential. Too bad she threw it away for Shane. Yeah, no. She had potential. She should have just shut her mouth and ate her food. I understand where she was coming from, and I think Omnia understood where she was coming from too, but also like, shut your mouth and eat your food, man. Is her channel gone? Let me see, actually. Sorry, the thing's going away for a second. Anyways, I've been repeating myself for the last thing. Maybe I should, let me see if I can think of a different topic. What was the thing I was just about to talk about before I went on another rant? Sorry. I was gonna talk about, excuse me. Sorry, I'm looking for a channel really quickly, sorry. Wait, what's that? Okay. I'm looking up Toby. There? I saw, is her channel gone? Oh no, her channel's still there. Yeah. Oh no, here her channel's still gone. Or not still gone, I'm sorry. Her channel's still there. The Twitter is it gone? I think it's her old Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, but her channel's still there. She just does a lot more. She does live streams. Yeah, I think she's more of a streamer, honestly. Let's see. Every time I look up Toby, I keep getting fucking Toby from Naruto, and that's why I fucking have the thing. That's all I thought about when people said Toby. I was like, oh, so Toby from Naruto. What you talking about? Yeah. Let's see. Let's look at her Twitter. Tweeters. I'm gonna put off my headphones. I can't hear shit in here. Let's see. Twitters. Is her Twitter still there? No, that's not the right Toby. Hmm. 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 I don't see her Twitter, but on my other account, I am. Uh. What's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? I am. I'm following her on Twitter. So I'll see you later. Oh, weird. I don't know. Her channel didn't show up for me in the search bar. She might be being, well, not suppressed, but her videos might not be being pushed anymore. I know her views are garbage now. Her views are garbage, boo, but yeah. Ooh. Let me show you this show since I'm here. Let me show you this. I'm gonna turn this off. Let me show you this show that I've been watching lately. Let me not look it up on my bootleg site because I was about to look it up on. Let me not look it up on the bootleg site I have. Is to not show that I maybe don't look at anime the right way. Certain sites or certain animes I don't approve of or don't want to support, so that's why I might do that. But where's that anime? Found it. Here is what I am talking about. This is the anime that I've been this is the anime I've been watching. There's only 3 episodes of it. Now it's I've been watching it so far. I have a lot of problems with it. But also there's a lot of good things about it. I'm going to make a review of it. And I think I'm just going to make a quick review of the entire 3 episodes and then post it tomorrow. But I do need to make art for it, which I need to do. Which I was going to do today, but I'm not going to do anymore. Onyx Equinox. NyQuil. I can't pronounce it. It's very hard. Literally, oh, actually, let me show you something. If I look this up, right? Hopefully nothing bad happens if I look this up. Porn pops up. It's not me, I promise. So I look this up, right? Looking at their Wikipedia, let me show you guys something. Let me show you. Where is it? Where's synopsis? This is a synopsis, right? First of all, the synopsis is not a good synopsis, in my personal opinion. Here's my problem, personally. Y'all hate me. I get that it's supposed to be like a new, fresh look into a different culture. But even with Game of Thrones, I had so much trouble remembering their names. I was not good at like remembering their names and like understanding how to pronounce anything. You guys hear how I, say random words. You know what I mean? Like regular words, like the and of and are. Like I can't I can't do this. And my review is gonna literally be me putting shit on screen because I can't say these words. I can't do it. I tried. I really did. I can say yodel. That's about it. I saw this word here and I can't. Like, look at all that. I can't pronounce that. Uh just just I can't pronounce it. It's so much. It's so many words. It's so they're so difficult and so long. But I just want to say that because I I've been struggling trying to like pronounce them and been like I'm giving up. I give up. I tried. Um no. Oh, what? Wait. Whoa. 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 Oh, that's Aaron? Oh, I didn't know that was Aaron. Holy shit. I did not know that was Aaron. Makes sense. um his character doesn't make a lot of sense. But with this show, I appreciate the music. I appreciate the art style. I appreciate what they were trying to do. I appreciate the cultural aspect of it and them putting all that heart and soul into the cultural aspect of this show. And from what I could see, the lady worked very hard who made this show, or who at least, no, yeah, I think she made it. The lady who made the show worked very hard on it culturally. And I appreciate that. But it's trash. Like it's straight up doo doo. Like I'm not going to lie to you. I can't cap you on this one. It's just really bad. It's a really bad show. And it's not like criminally bad like the what's it called? I forgot already. What was it called? The Magical Girls one I reviewed last time. It's not like that. It's not like that bad. It's just some things don't make sense. Some things are just wonky, like the animation, the way the characters lay in the backgrounds, and their character development, what they choose to focus on. It's all just not great. And eh, I feel like I heard a lot about this show. Not necessarily hype, but I saw a lot of commercials and it seemed really interesting. And I'm 3 episodes in and I'm just like, I don't want to watch anymore. This seems kind of boring. And while I'll watch it to somewhat support it because I do like it has great potential. Great potential. But it's same thing. It's just not hitting. Like, you know what I mean? It's just not hitting the way it should. They're really bad at pacing. They're really bad character development. Hell, the second episode can literally be summarized as wah. And I mean that in the sense of like crying. That's all the second episode can be summarized in, or summarized as. Is that boy you're seeing on screen, this one that's having like the avatar state happen to him right here, him whining is all you hear from the second episode. And it gets so annoying after 5 minutes that you'll want to not watch anything else. thankfully, I watched the third episode before I watched the first, which I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I don't want to spoil it, is what I'm trying to say entirely. But it's just a really bad show, and I'm gonna make a review of it. And they have a character trailer? Okay, I'm gonna watch as much as I can, try to remember their names, and try to be good at this. And what time is it? It is 2 o'clock. That is not good for me. I'm supposed to be making said video today and editing it today. And I fucked that up, and I haven't eaten, by the way. I haven't eaten. That's not good. I need to go. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I kept you guys here with all my rants and raves about the the situation about the commentary community and me whining. I need to eat. So I'm going to leave my live stream up. And you guys can watch it afterwards. But I probably should edit it. Man, I don't want to do all that. Possibly one day, but not today. But I'll leave it up in case you want to rewatch it. It's literally just me fucking complaining. I don't mean to fucking rant and rave all fucking day. I should have been doing something else, but I wasn't. But anyways, I'll see you. I'll see you guys later. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Fucking everything sucks right now.